Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.
Touchdown Bulldogs.
Well, there you see Schaefer going upstairs again and wide open in that end zone.
Down the sideline. Touchdown Cougars. As we creep a little bit closer to mid-season of the high school football regular season slate, a number of teams still are seeking their true identity, trying to find out how far they can go this season with what they've got. And that's the case this evening, and that's why Access Sacramento is in Rancho Cordova for the Hometown Sports Game of the Week as the Vista del Lago Eagles come in to play the Cordova Lancers. Good evening and welcome to Lancer Stadium here on the campus of Cordova High School. I'm Will James along with the Imperator of Analysis, Jim Domino. We've got two relatively young coaches. We've got the Capital Athletic League versus the Sierra Valley Conference. Should be a good one tonight, Jim.
It certainly should. It's a great matchup. I know they've been looking forward to meeting each other. Cordova's got everybody. I think the whole community's out here tonight to support this team. And Coach Neal has done a great job putting the Lancers on the map, hasn't he?
He has indeed. Of course, Mike Strubing has done a wonderful job in his 3+ years with Vista. And Darren Neal, in just his second year, has really boosted this program. And with it, the emotion and the spirit on this campus. The last time these clubs met, however, was 5 years ago, Jim, and it was a one-sided ball game.
Well, it certainly was. September 16th, 2011 to be exact, Will. Vista won big, 55-7. Those Eagle quarterbacks went crazy with 4 TD passes, and were up front 42-0 at the half.
The overall history record is 4-0 for Vista. Cordova looking to break through possibly tonight. Let's take a look now at the last outings for these squads. They did not fare well for either squad, Jim.
Well, Vista ran into a very tough, unbeaten Monterey Trail Ball Club, running the veer, scoring a ton of points this year. Stayed in the game for a while, but got beat 62-42. Meanwhile, Cordova and Rio Linda locked up. Cordova going into the game 2-0, ran into a tough Rio Linda squad, losing 31-29, and missed a field goal at the very end with 6 seconds, and could have come out of there with a win, Will.
Tight ball game and a tough loss here at home for Darren Neal's ball club. Certainly looking to rebound tonight with home field advantage among the intangible factors. Now, there's all kinds of players on these rosters that are going to have notable appearances tonight. So let's examine the impact players and take a closer look at just a few of them, starting with Mike Strubing's Eagles flight leaders.
Well, the Eagles flight leaders are led by quarterback Brent Schaefer, 2-year starter, number 5, having a terrific year, 966 yards, 10 touchdowns, only 1 pick. Wide receiver Brandon Hall having a great year with 351 yards, 2 TDs. Defensive two-way starter Severin Anderson, two-way starter, all-league player. Adam King, outstanding linebacker, number 40 running at that linebacker spot.
Well, that group is going to have to lead the way for the visitors tonight, coming in at 1-2 and trying to get even in the one-loss column. Now, as far as Darren Nill's outfit is concerned, the Lancers headliners are going to have to take charge tonight at home.
Well, let's start with that great running back they have. That's Deontay McCullough, number 21. You'll see a lot of him tonight, averaging 9.4 per carry, and he can go to distance at any time. Calvin Augusta, their wide receiver, defensive back, outstanding athlete, having a great year, 3 touchdowns. Kenny Haney, one of the best linebackers in the league, and also is going to play a little bit at running back. And Kaleki and Joko at the outside running at the outside linebacker, and will play some running back. He is a leading tackler on the team and has 8 sacks this season.
He does indeed, and he poses major problems for opposing passers and their protective linemen, and that's going to be a serious factor we'll have to look for tonight. And back to Kenny Haney, he is the best hitter on this squad and is known as the enforcer, so that Cordova defense sparked by a couple of tough ones. Well, that's the way this portion of the pregame segment is shaking out. When we come back, we're going to direct our attention to Rick Stewart, and he's going to probe a bit deeper into tonight's contest, tonight's matchups, and the head coaches for each of these respective teams. So stay with us. Lots more to come here from Rancho Cordova this evening on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
It's not always easy being a dad.
Do you have panda asthma too? Does that run in the family?
This is the home of the most priceless kung fu artifacts.
But when you make an effort,
Dad, we're not supposed to touch anything.
Oh, sorry. Go along, son!
it's always worth it.
Whoa!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I am gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Gear up, guys.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome to the fray this evening on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We're in Rancho Cordova as the host Lancers will entertain the visiting Vista del Lago Eagles. I'm Will James along with Jim Domino, and let's now turn our attention down to field level and Rick Stewart.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. We do have a couple really good coaches for tonight's game, and we've got, first off, for Vista del Lago, we've got Mike Strubing. Now, he's a veteran coach, even though he's only got a couple years going on with Vista. His career record's 24-13. It's his 4th year. Now, he does have back-to-back Capital Athletic League crowns. There's also 11 consecutive Capital Athletic League victories. You know that's a streak he doesn't want stopped tonight. He's also got 3 playoff appearances, You can see it right there. He's 1-3 in his career. He's got a good, solid veteran team, and he's looking forward to a quality ball game tonight. Now let's talk about Cordova. Cordova has Darren Nill. Now this is his second year at Cordova. His career record here is 7-6. He was the Lancer varsity coach in 15 last year, and he was assistant coach from 2012 to 2014. But he also has assistant coaching experience at 3 different schools in San Jose: Peterson High School, Pioneer High School, and Santa Clara High School. Now he's also got some really good, solid things going on as far as revitalizing the Lancers program through a couple grants he's received. Quality stuff, and we'll talk more about that as the night and the weeks go on. He's got some lofty goals to return Cordova High football to their prominence that they had in the 60s and 70s when they were the dominant team here in Sacramento. Let's look about the series history between these two teams. This is the first meeting since 2011. It's the first career meeting for these two coaches, Strubing and Nill. Overall, it's the 5th career meeting. Vista del Lago holds the edge 4-0, and those scores really weren't close: 55-7, 49-0, 41-23, 40-14. It's a 4-game scoring average. You can see 185-44, average victory 32 points. That's quite a ways. I'm sure that Cordova does not want this to go on here. We'll see them in their new uniforms, black on black. Color rush tonight here on Cordova at Lancer Field. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Well, thank you very much, Rick. Yes, we're all excited to see the new uniforms, but Coach Nill's ball club has a statement to make here at home tonight, especially after dropping a toughie here a week ago against Rio Linda in a 2-point squeaker. And yes, you're absolutely right, Rick. Coach Nill and his staff have done a marvelous job of boosting the atmosphere, the energy, and the camaraderie here at Cordova High School and within the football program. The motto here: once a Lancer, always a Lancer. And it's the home of the Big Red, Coach Domino, and it's good to see that spirit rising again here in Lancer land.
Well, it certainly has been prevailing here during the JV game as well as all during the pregame warm-up, Will. And there's a lot of history in this field. Believe me, and coaches that beforehand, Dewey Guerra, Max Miller, etc., just to name a few of the tradition here that went on for years and years, with them winning many, many championships in ball games.
Okay, let's turn our attention back down to Rick Stewart. He has a special guest on hand, Rick.
Well, I certainly do, Will. Fletcher Johnson, basketball coach here at Cordova. Great to see you out here first and foremost. Give us a quick synopsis of last year's results.
Oh, last year, we had a good season, took second place in the league. I ended up playing Western Ranch in the playoffs and lost in the first round, but it was a good learning experience for our young players.
Now, you mentioned young players. You got more young players coming in this year. How strong is your team going to be?
I think we'll be pretty strong. We'll contend for league, and if things go right, we may even be able to make a section run.
Sounds good. What about football tonight? What do you got in predictions?
I'm going with Cordova by 7.
By 7, okay. Close game. Defensive or high scoring?
High scoring. There
you go. All the more exciting. Coach Johnson, best of luck in this coming year for us.
All right, thank you.
All right. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you, Rick. Yes, we've been treated very well 2 of the last 3 years we've been here televising Cordova Lancers basketball, and their Christmas tournament is still one of the best. We're going to take a break right now and come back shortly to Lancer Stadium here on the campus of Cordova High School for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Well, it's a beautiful evening for football and for anything outside right now. We've had temperatures in the low to mid 90s throughout the Sacramento region, but things are cooling off nicely here in Rancho Cordova, and that's where the main event is going to go down shortly here. A CAL versus Sierra Valley Conference matchup tonight with the Eagles of Vista del Lago coming in to face host Cordova, and as the graphic stated, the series history is 4-0 for Vista, and tonight Cordova really wants to make a statement, Jim.
Yes, they do. I think that Coach Darren Hill has been trying to get things going here in every way, on and off the field, get the community involved, the student body involved, etc. And for having been a powerhouse for many, many years back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, of course, they in the last decade or so, they've been down a little bit, but boy, they're coming back now.
Well, I know you've analyzed the game very carefully, and you have some key matchups to talk about. There's always keys, and tonight is no exception.
Well, certainly not. When we talk about keys, we're talking about pass rush. A great deal of emphasis should be on the pass rush tonight. The Lancers are going to have to put some heat on Schaefer and company and beat the O-line of the Eagles. And as mentioned, along with great play in the secondary, pass rush will help. The Eagles defense has got their hands full with number 21, McCullough, averaging 9.4, and the Lancers have a balanced offensive attack. So they will. Eagles passing attack versus the secondary, and the Lancers have some good athletes out there in that secondary. Tate Banks, Estrada, Fight, etc. They're going to have, again, they're going to have to get really mix up their coverage a little bit. They're going to have their hands full with receivers like Pugh and Hall and Alevis and Tudor.
Well, it's not always visible or rock solid, the keys we talk about. A lot of times they're intangible factors, and there's a few of those lurking around this game, Jim.
Well, I'm sure everyone's talking about the strength of schedule. And when you look at that strength of schedule, Vista has been in the front lines versus Oak Ridge, Ponderosa, and Monterey Trail. Cordova having gone against Rio Americana, Chavez, and Rio Linda. There is a discrepancy on the records of their non-league, but you got to play the game on the field well, as you know, and settle it on the field. The home field advantage for Cordova definitely is here. Let's see if they take advantage of it, having not beaten Vista for the last 5 years. And, of course, the motivation to avenge those losses is here tonight. And Coach Neal would like to put that winning record or winning streak of Vista to a halt here right now tonight.
That he would. A good crowd on hand, particularly here for host Cordova, and we're supposed to have the marching band as I see them assembled down at the far end of the track. Quite a festive atmosphere here, and there's been a lot of beautiful new touches, window dressing and bells and whistles added to the Cordova football presentation, and it's just a joy to be here. As you see, we have co-captains out at midfield conferring with our game referees and getting the ground rules straight. And let's go ahead and splash our game officials assigned by the NCOA to monitor tonight's ball game and keep an eye on things and make sure everything is fair and square. There you see, wearing the white cap, our game referee, Rob Biddle. He's working with umpire John Flores. Our head linesman this evening will be George Curry, Terry Howell, the line judge, and our back judge tonight, Barrett Cox. And I have a feeling, Jim, they're going to have their hands full keeping up with this ball game.
Well, both teams have speed, particularly Cordova has a ton of speed, and they're going to have their hands full and Coach Neal was very concerned in our talk during the week where he wanted to reduce his penalties. And he's averaging too many penalties against his ball club, and that can be self-destructive. So let's see if they certainly show improvement in that area.
Well, after the coin toss, the Cordova Lancers have elected to receive the football, and that's something Darren Neal was looking forward to. He wants his offense out there to start the ball game, but not before we pay honor to our country's flag and all what it stands for. And we see this excellent marching band. There's the color guard you see coming from one end, and there's the band from the other. And this is quite an outfit here. It's wonderful that they're on hand tonight to add a little extra buzz and a little juice to this gathering.
Well, that's always so nice to see. I don't think we can ever get enough of that, Will. I really do enjoy these great high school bands and high school festivities and honoring our country and the flag.
Nice assembly here by the Cordova marching band and the band director, Mr. Kevin Sims, to be complimented on this presentation. Kevin Sims.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise for our national anthem.
Parabolic at the parabolic.
Cordova High School Marching Band, and a wonderful rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner. What a way to kick off this event. Along with Jim Domino and Rick Stewart, I'm Will James, and we welcome you to Lancer Stadium for tonight's presentation of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. And if you see the graphic here, you can see the delightful weather I spoke of earlier. Presently, a comfortable 84, slight winds from the southwest. Humidity is up a wee bit. Visibility clear as a bell. Ding dong, ding dong. Cordova won the toss. They'll receive. They're wearing their new alternative uniforms tonight. Straight black with red numerals, built for speed. And the visiting Eagles from Vista del Lago, their road whites, trimmed in navy. They'll do the kicking, and that will be in the person of Cade Bader. He wears number 7. And Cordova will dispatch some excellent kickoff returners, including Deontay McCoa, Speedy Raymond Fight. And we'll also be looking tonight at Alvin Banks doing some punt returning. A couple of very talented sophomores, Fight and Banks. So there's the deployment. Number 12 there is Raymond Fight, who last year on the JV team as a freshman returned 9 kicks for touchdowns.
Wow, very impressive. Very impressive. Raymond Fight, young sophomore. A number of sophomores up on this squad.
Okay, you can see a little bit different deployment here. Everybody from the hash mark over for Vista. And the returners shaded to that side. So Bader steps up and booms one over everybody's head. Touch back very much. It was a heck of a kickoff. And let's take a look at the Lancer offense as they start 1st and 10 from the Cordova 20. Sophomore Xavier Johnson running the show, and his ace running back Deontay McCullough. The 4 wideouts in their spread offense: Tate, Augusta, sophomore Banks, and Angel Garcia. We see 3 of those wideouts deployed to the near side, and we're just about ready for the first play from scrimmage in tonight's game. Motion, Johnson to throw, hums a bullet out to the right side, and he has a completion for short yardage just like across the 25.
Garcia with the catch, picking up about 6 yards, Will. East ran just a quick hitch back. Impressed how quickly Xavier Johnson got at the ball out of his hands.
So they give him 5 to the 25, 2nd and 5. Cordova on the move. Strong rush on Johnson. He escapes, slips a tackle, and then gets grabbed for about a 4-yard loss. A sack.
Quarterbacking for our Lancers tonight is number 11, Xavier Johnson.
Now the Vista defense came up big on that play. They have a 3-man front with Nick Ellis, Severin Anderson, a veteran, and Joey Greenbaum. The backers, Rasmussen King, McMahon, and Olivas. And the secondary, Hall and Olive, Bader, and Middlecoff. Johnson flushed again, trying to escape, and gets chased out crossing the 15. So after a good start on first down, nobody open, and Johnson has to eat it twice.
A lot of pressure on Johnson, reverses field, and got to be very careful. I love the opening play. He took what they gave us. The corner was giving him a cushion. He hit Garcia real quick on a 5-yard hitch. Then all of a sudden takes 2 straight losses, and here they are punting.
It's a high but short punt from Banks, and Vista lets it roll, and it's going to trickle out of bounds just shy of midfield. So the Eagles will take over 1st and 10 from the Lancer 48 or so, 49. A 32-yard punt. Let's take a look at that Vista offense. Brent Schaefer, an outstanding passer and returning veteran with big numbers. He's going to work with running back Dominic Norris, and their 4 wideouts, good ones: Hall, Pugh, Tudor, and Olivas. Offensive line, Brandon Johnson, Choi, and Wakobi, Severin Anderson playing both ways, and Andrew Coakley. So from the Cordova 49, 3 wideouts to the near side. Quick hit, right side. It's a hookup out there. Good block and good yardage. Still on his feet and being knocked down finally. Blake Teeter. First down, Eagles. Okay, for Cordova on defense, they're down 4. Bright, Romero, Zimmer, and Njoku. Gonzalez, Haney, and Pugh. After that gain of 19, and then the secondary fight, Estrada, Tate, and Banks.
Watch the blocking of the wide receivers. I'm really impressed. They stalk block extremely well.
Schaefer throws on the run. He's got a man at the sideline. That's a hookup near the 10-yard line. And again, Teeter with the grab. 2 straight connections between that duo. First and goal. Let's see, first. Okay, they're just outside. They're at the 12. Gain of 17 on the play. Schaefer looks right and fires. He's got a hook up, but not going anywhere too far. Maybe a couple of yards on the play. Olivas with the catch.
Well, at the most 2. Schaefer 3 for 3 right off the get-go. And I'll tell you what, his receivers they're running very short routes. They're disciplined routes. And once again, I'm impressed way the receivers block, and they're tough without the football.
Motion in the backfield. Schaefer throws to the motion man. Nice block, and again, they're wearing that out. Teeter's dropped inside the 5. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now. From the 6. Another look.
There you see a quick release to Tudor again, having 3 catches already.
This time they give to Norris, a fake to Norris, and in for the TD, Schaefer. Nice misdirection there, and Schaefer scores from 6 yards out. Touchdown, Eagles at the 8:33 early on.
Well, actually, that didn't take very long, 2 minutes and 12 seconds, really. That's how quickly they got down the field. Amazingly quick.
Well, that short passing game is basically perfected. They have a routine on that is indelible, and Schaefer runs it beautifully. So they're going to go for 2, double wideouts to the right, 2 in the backfield in motion. Turn and give up the gut to the goal line. He's in.
Wow, huge hole. It looked like Norris going in a huge hole.
Norris runs for the 2-pointer. That makes it 8-0. And as we go to break, let's take a look at this scoring effort there on the 2-point run. Schaefer getting in for the TD, and then Norris for 2. We'll be right back. Vista del Lago set to kick off after a fast scoring drive, and another booming kick. No return. That's out of the end zone. And again, Xavier Johnson and the Lancers will have to start from their 20.
Well, they've been kicking. Cade Bader on Monday's practice went 10 for 10 in the end zone. And on Tuesday, 6 for 10, and on Tuesday, 6 for 6 in the end zone at practice. So not bad for high school, huh, Will?
No, just outstanding. 1st and 10, Lancers. They're down 8 early. Johnson to throw, a crossing pattern, and he's got a nice hookup. 1st down yardage on the play. And he's got the hookup to Banks, the sophomore. Nice strike delivered by Xavier Johnson.
Good timing, good rhythm.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Good protection, deep throw. Overthrown.
Trying to get Garcia downfield. I'll tell you, that ball was in the air about 55 yards, Will.
That was a nice throw. Garcia couldn't get to it, although he had a step on the defender. 3rd and 8. Big play if the Lancers want to sustain. Big rush, another deep throw. Off the fingertips, wow. John L. Sanders, another sophomore in this rotation.
Okay, well, it's 4th and 2 here now, and they got 8 yards on the first play, and then went deep, twice in a row deep, and trying to go vertical and now punting.
Okay, a bad snap. He's going to run it, might make some distance, and does. Banks salvages what could have been a disaster. 1st down, Lancers. So Alvin Banks turns a busted play into a 1st down, and let's take another look.
There's a bounce back to Banks. He scoops it up and turns a corner there and picks up the necessary yards and move the chains.
From the 38-yard line, the Lancers trying to sustain. They're going to run the football here.
Well, it looked like it was bouncing around off McCullough's hands.
It did.
If we see the replay on there, he never had control of the football.
So McCullough has his first carry. He gets about 4 out of the play, but I'm sure he's done that more smoothly. Second down, gain of 3 from the 41. 2nd and 7. Johnson fires, got an open man and a drop right in the breadbasket, and Banks, I'm sure, would like to have that one over again.
Very much nice job by the corner. Number 3 doing a good job there for them, Brendan Hall. Difficult to pick up their numbers when they're wearing white, Will. We had this problem before with Vista.
Yes, it's an announcer's nightmare. We'll just deal with it. Tough luck for Xavier Johnson in the offense. Now they have to pick it up on 3rd down, but they get a jump, maybe an encroachment against the Eagles. We'll wait for the call from our
encroachment, the defense.
Rob Biddle with the announcement.
That was encroachment by the Eagles. That'll make it 3rd and 2 now from the Cordova.
So the 5-yard penalty shortens the distance. Lancers need to pick up just 2 now on 3rd down. Football just outside their 45. Johnson dances, escapes, runs it, and has a lot more. 1st down, Cordova. He's chased out at the Eagles' 46 or so.
Turns the broken play into a 1st down. He was finally forced out of bounds by number 40, Adam King for the Eagles. It'll be 1st and 10 Lancers at the Vista 46-yard line.
So 2 plays, the punt play that Banks ran for a 1st down, and then that scramble there have kept the drive alive. Quick hitch left side, nothing doing.
Oh, I'll tell you, this is very alert corner here. Brandon Hall, very alert. He picked it up right now. The wide receiver tried to stalk block him, but I'll tell you, great job. Impressive here. Corner play by Brandon Olive, number 1, and Brendan Hall, number 3.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Big rush on Johnson, throwing deep. Caught! Touchdown, Lancers. A catch in traffic. Wow. On the play, a tremendous effort by Calvin Augusta. Wow. 47-yard aerial connection, Johnson to Augusta, and the Lancers are on the board, trailing now 8-6. They go for 2. Johnson fires, and a 2-pointer is good. That was a bullet right on the money. And Banks has the catch, and we are tied at 8. This is brewing into something special as we go to break. Let's take a look at the bomb.
Watch Johnson back to pass, going deep. And he's got Augusta there. Great catch. And in the end zone.
We'll be right back. Well, things are warming up fast here at Lancer Stadium here on kind of a muggy evening, but beautiful weather for Friday night under the light football. 8-8. Vista del Lago striking first, and Cordova matching that with 8 of their own. The kickoff short to the 15-yard line, and that hole closed up fast.
A nice open field tackling there by, looked like Banks. Oh, 52 Gonzalez, that is. There was a big hole. If he gets by Gonzalez, he's in for a long run back.
So the Lancers go 80 yards, 9 plays, covering 2:02 on the clock. We're tied, and a bit better than average field position for Vista from the Eagle 32. Hitch out to the left side, and there's room outside. Finally, a gang tackle shuts that down. But they are just wearing it out with Blake Teeter.
Well, Tudor with another great run. Blake Tudor moves the chains again, having 4 catches already tonight, Will.
To the 41-yard line. 2nd and 1. And there's a loss of 1. That play was well defended.
Well, the other wide receiver missed his block on that stalk block, and normally they do it well. But that time a block was missed out there, and a good job by the corner.
The football just inside the Vista 40-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and a long 2. Quick shot out to the right side. They're going to work that again and again and again. Ryan Middlecoff with the grab and run. 1st down, Eagles.
Well, right now, they are, Will, you're exactly right on that. They haven't stopped it, so they're going to run it again. But on the fake to Norris, where he freezes the linebacker, Norris is running through the line without the football, wide open. Watch this. Norris goes into the line with the fake, freezes the secondary, and nobody covers Norris.
Well, they'll have to correct that unless they want to get burnt again. Meantime, triple wide to the left for the Eagles. Schaefer up top, a leaping catch, and it's going to be an Eagles touchdown as the secondary overplayed the coverage. Brendan Hall with the grab and run. What focus. And that covers 48 yards. And just like that, the Eagles have reclaimed the lead. (14-8). And again, as they have shown a penchant, going for 2 here. Double wide, left and right. Schaefer looks right, bounces, and now he's going to get flushed to the end zone. Dropped! Wow. That was good improvising by Schaefer, and he threw a strike. Let's go to break and watch the score. Brendan Hall. We'll be right back. More of the Game of the Week. Here's the Eagle kickoff upcoming after they go 68 yards in 4 plays. Another booming shot into the end zone. Another touchback. And I'll tell you, Cade is putting a heavy foot into the pigskin tonight.
Cade Bader, 3 straight in the end zone. Cade Bader.
Well, I wonder if it's got any connection with this full moon we see that's as big and bright as you can imagine. A gorgeous sight here from Lancer Stadium. Back to action. 1st and 10 for the Lancers. On 3 occasions, Bader has boomed touchback kickoffs. So they start again from the 20. All day to throw, but he's flushed. Dances outside and escapes and runs for about 10. Maybe a bit more, maybe a 1st down. Xavier Johnson.
Well, he's really putting the heat on the outside perimeter game. Rasmussen and Olives are really having problems containing quarterback Johnson. I mean, he is quick, very athletic. Xavier Johnson, very, very impressive.
A gain of 11 from the 31 now. A bullet thrown behind the intended receiver. It's incomplete. Garcia, the intended receiver on that play, but it was well covered. 2nd and 10.
Well, I'm impressed here with Xavier Johnson, young sophomore, very athletic, great speed. He looks to me like he could play any place, not just quarterback. He's got all kind of physical ability.
2nd and 10. Deep throw, overthrown by a mile.
Well, he's got a lot of heat on him that time, and he was forced to get rid of the ball a little quicker than he wanted. And I know this, that Vista is certainly, right now, he's 4 for 9 for 59.
3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Going for Augusta again. Let's see if he can find a way. Throws on the run, underneath, dropped. Banks, the intended receiver. He's had 2 drops tonight. 4th and 10. And the special team unit comes on for Cordova. Banks is the punter.
Well, that's not going to do it. Three and done in 56 seconds is not going to do it.
Brendan Hall and Middlecoff, the returners. Hall ranging, taking it on the run and blasted hard, but he's got good field position at the Eagles 44. A 33-yard boot and about an 8-yard return. 1st and 10 Eagles from the Vista 44.
Well, that's not the kind of possession that Cordova wants, to give the ball right back to Vista. Holding the ball, three and done, 3 and punt for 56 seconds is not that's kind of a drive buster. And Vista with the ball again.
Boom! There's the pass rush we heard so much about. My, oh my.
Well,
Schaefer's wondering what fell on him.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looked like a blitz from inside, Haney being one of them, and then outside, and Joko all over him.
Now, that was bad news. Haney and Njoku doubled up on him that time. 2nd and 14. Schaefer's going to have to run it and dance out of bounds. No gain. Well, he got a couple on that.
Well, he got back to line of scrimmage, back to the original line of scrimmage, Will. Picked up about 3. Now he's in a 3rd and long. I'm glad to see Cordova mixing up their coverage there, Will. They can't just sit in that 43D. They've got to do some blitzing, which they showed there.
4 wide outs to the left. Schaefer rolls that way, looking, good coverage, and a short hookup, and diving ahead for additional yardage.
Well, what I like there is Schaefer rolling weak side, keeping his cool and patience, and then drilling his receiver on a comeback.
1st down Eagles, very clutch. They put it at the Cordova 42. The clock is rolling. I guess a play coming in from the sideline. Good protection this time for Schaefer. He's got all day, and he's going to have to run it, and cuts it and gets about 5.
Well, I see a big difference in Schaefer from last year to this year, Will. I see more poise, more maturity, and ability to go through his progression and then run the football. Watch him here. Watch him look over the field. Now he says, nothing is there. I'm not going to force the football. I'll pick up about 4 or 5.
Up the gut running, Norris. Stuffed pretty good right there. Nice containment. It's going to bring up 3rd and intermediate.
Third and a long 4.
So far tonight, Schaefer 8 for 8 upstairs for 127, including a TD. Up the gut, no one's home, and it's going to be an Eagles touch. Down Vista. Wow.
Norris, untouched.
Norris Untouched 36-yard TD run. 20-8 at the 139 mark.
Well, you don't want to turn around and Vista strike so quickly.
They're going to go for 2. They're 1 out of 2 in that department so far. Quick hit, right side. Boom!
That's a great defensive play there. That's a great defensive play. Looked like Raymond Fight with a great tackle.
Another one of those outstanding sophomores. Fight just shivered his timbers.
Watch Norris go untouched on this replay. 36 yards untouched, Will.
We'll be right back for more of Access Sacramento's. Oh, we're not going to go away. We're going to keep it right here. Let's show you the Stinger Bees because we're going to see it all night long, Jim. We talked about it all week, and this has got to be a bright spot for Coach Strubing.
Well, it certainly is. Brent Schaefer, you've seen him here putting on a show so far in the first half, completing about 8-9 passes, big yards. Great target. Brandon Hall, great target number 3, outstanding. Blake Tudor caught the first 3 or 4 of the football game. Blake, Brendan, and Brent, the 3Bs stinging once again.
56 yards, 6 plays. And a band is rocking and trying to inspire the home team. Bader is just putting on a show with a big-time leg here. Touchback.
Well, that drive at 56, they went down the field in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'll tell you, they don't waste any time. They get down the field. This attack reminds you very much of the Folsom attack. These wide receivers run precision routes. They pick for each other. They block for each other, and I'm very, very impressed with their route running.
Well, it's a patented system, no doubt. Cordova now trying to strike back. Incomplete on the crossing pattern. Garcia, the intended receiver, incomplete. 2nd and 10. So far, we've seen virtually nothing of McCullough, who's averaging 134 per game. I think it would help their balance if they could get him involved.
Yeah, well, I think he's only had 1 or 2 touches.
The run play gets next to nothing. Well defended by the Eagles. So McCullough gets the carry, but they're waiting for him and shut that down. Gain of 2, we'll call it 2nd and 8. I should say 3rd and 8. From the 22.
Little conference here, Will.
Who was it?
Well, this will give you a chance to show you who we're going to be covering next week. Next week's promo ought to be one that you can easily identify with, Jim.
Well, certainly.
False start on the offense.
So -5.
Hey!
Next week, I understand we're going to be over in Fair Oaks.
Yes, we're going to be over at Fair Oaks in Cougar Country, watching Roseville visiting Del Campo. Should be a terrific ball game.
3rd and 13. Johnson out of trouble, has open field, and he's going to go a long ways to midfield now. One man to beat, who shoves him out near the Eagle 40. Boy, oh boy.
White line, let's go, white line!
41 yards on the scamper by Xavier Johnson, and 3 times now Cordova has bailed itself out with improvising. Here's another look.
Look, he's trapped back there, gets free, goes up the sideline with that great speed.
From the 42, Johnson dances away, looks, runs, and he's got a nice hunk down the sideline. Still on his feet, a zigzag move near the 20. Wow, the X-Man.
The X-Man, that's a huge weapon. Huge.
Let's go!
So he carries from the 42 down to the Eagle 17. Cordova threatening, trying to get close. Throw to the left side, a breakup. Tight coverage out there. Brendan Hall defending Garcia, the intended receiver.
Brendan Hall having a good defensive game as well as offense. I'm very impressed with his corner play. He can play zone, he can play cover 2, and he can latch on man to man.
4 for 12 for 59 yards. That's the line for Xavier Johnson, but he's gained a lot more with his feet tonight. Inside running, power to the corner. Touchdown Lancers. McCullough scores from 17 yards out. And just like that, the Lancers are back in it. Now trailing 20-14. It comes at the 25-second mark, and there has been a ton of scoring in this first quarter. Tight formation. Johnson's gonna option, run it, and get in. Is he in there? I didn't see a call, but I'm guessing that he's short. There was no call by the linesman. I guess we're all supposed to see it from up here. So it's 20-14 as the Lancers answer back, but cannot cash in the 2-point conversion attempt. However, they are back on the board. Let's take another look at McCullough's run. I guess we'll have to wait on that. The scoring drive, 80 yards, 6 plays in just over a minute.
Well, that was quick, 1 minute and 14 seconds. And we still have 25 seconds to the quarter, Will, and who knows? Enough time, the way these two teams play, we can get another score here before the quarter's out.
They have been lighting it up. 5 TDs in this opening period. Long ones, short ones, and in between. So Clifford Bright, a junior defensive end and pass rush specialist to do the booting. Hall, the deep receiver, kickoff out of bounds, penalty marker flies. There's our game referee, Rob Biddle.
You guys are taking it on the 35? We got procedure right here. It's going to be first.
All right, so the ball's placed at the Eagle 35. So as a result of the penalty, they have good field position here with 25 seconds remaining in the first period. Rob Biddle trying to regain control here on this first down play upcoming. Beautiful night for football this evening. A full moon and a panoramic vision here in Rancho Cordova. Schaefer's had a heck of a first quarter. Draw play works beautifully into the secondary. Power running. Norris a big time gain all the way to the Lancer 46. Hurry up offense for the Eagles. 17 seconds, clock rolling. Quick hit, right side, boom. Nice shove out. Yusef Pugh with the stop on the short hook up to Hall. That'll bring up second down. The clock stopping with 12 seconds left. And they park the football at the Cordova 43. Double wide left and right. Up the gut, into the secondary again deep. Norris is having a field day with that soft middle.
Well, you and I shared some thoughts about that pregame, Will. And the description that Coach Strubing gave Norris was well taken. He's a vertical up the middle runner, tough runner.
19 on the carry. But he's having a big game.
The holes are big up front.
And the clock is going to run out here in the first quarter, so they'll switch ends of the field. And we'll take a little break here and remind you that we'll be right back after we toss it to Rick Stewart, who's got a special guest down on the infield. Rick?
All right, thanks, Will. Tom Pena, athletic director here at Cordova High School. Tom, not the score we wanted, but a beautiful night.
It is a beautiful night.
Nice moon rising over the stadium here. Beautiful accommodations here. The field, we were talking to Coach earlier, it's been redone a couple years ago. Now, this is really wonderful.
It is, and we maintain it pretty well.
All right. Other sports going on?
Well, we have girls volleyball going on this season. We also have cross country, girls golf as well.
All right, now we're also doing soccer in the winter. How's that going?
Both boys and girls soccer will be playing in the winter. We have students that are starting to train right now. And the teams are growing, and we're getting more kids out for participation. So we'll see how it goes. We've got the schedule set already.
Just wanted to say thanks as well for your support, your school support when we came in and did basketball playoffs last year. Thanks so much for all your help. We'll send it back upstairs.
And thank you for being here.
All right, Tom.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, guys, back to you.
All right, Rick Stewart, thank you very much. Yeah, Tom Pena doing a whale of a job, the Cordova athletic director. So they change ends of the field. Norris for the game, 3 carries for 74 yards with a long of 36 and a TD, having a great ball game. Schaefer to the left side again. He's got the pest, who in the first quarter had 3 straight catches. And Tudor is having a heck of a ball game, as well as Brendan Hall.
Watch Vance Olives, kind of an unsung hero. He stalk blocks out there, and he sprung a few guys tonight. Haven't seen his name called much, number 84.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. They run it and gets drilled. 3 Lancers there.
Well, that was the first time they've been all over.
Norris got wore out on that one.
Yes, he did.
No gain, 3rd and 5 from the 20. We're just underway here in the second quarter. In case you've just tuned in, we welcome you aboard with Rick Stewart and Jim Domino. I'm Will James. What you got there, Coach?
Norris, look at the average. He's got 474. He's averaging 18 a carry.
Schaefer flushed, runs it, and throws incomplete.
You don't see them drop many. Do not see them drop many. Schaefer put the ball right there.
Looking at the numbers being crunched by our executive statistician, Gary Martin, that was Schaefer's first incompletion of the evening. In total offense, Cordova, 68 yards. Back to Schaefer, 10 for 11 for 135, as we see that Vista sideline with those Eagles on top, 20-14, trying to cash in a 4th and 5 play here from the 20. To the corner, a wide open receiver and a leaping catch for an Eagles first down.
Tudor. He's got at least 5 catches, I would say, tonight. That was a tough catch with the DB all over him.
They spotted at the 10 after the 10-yard pickup. 1st and goal from the 10. Triple wide receivers to the near side. Norris dropped crossing the 10. He's inside the 10. He's getting a good workout. 2nd and goal now from the 8, gain of 2.
Yosef Pugh with a nice tackle there, and you're going to have to hit him low. He runs hard for a guy that looks like about 180 pounds, but boy, he runs like he's 200.
To the corner, incomplete.
Nice
a high
work.
strike, double teamed out there.
Yeah, nice work out there by Estrada. Good defense by corner Estrada.
Brendan Hall, the intended receiver, and of course they're paying lots of attention to him with those 2 defenders. 3rd and goal. Lancers trying to make a stand here and shut this thing down. Trailing it 20-14 here early in the 2nd. Lots of fireworks here so far. Double wide left and right. Schaefer left side, incomplete. He overthrows his intended receiver out there, Pugh. Incomplete, 4th and goal.
He took a pretty good belt by Banks, and no flags. Once again, they don't kick too many field goals, and of course they got the kicker with the leg. In Cade.
4th down, the Eagles go for it again, see if they can cash it in. Schaefer keeps, looks, gets rushed, missed a tackle, and he's dropped at the 5. Wow. So the defense holds after it looked like Schaefer might sneak away. So the Lancers hold on D, and they'll open shop from their own 5 in the danger zone. Tough D right there, and we've got an injured Lancer here. They don't need any of that. They've had some injuries, and it's going to be Banks, I believe, being helped off the field. 1st down, a run play is going to get nothing but a loss. No, my mistake. It's not Banks that's hurt. It's Najaku, the outstanding sophomore or junior defensive end that was helped off the field, and they can ill afford to lose him. From the end zone, a strike on a slant over the middle to Banks. Here's a foot race, outrunning 2 men. Wow, big time speed into Eagle territory at the Vista 43. "53 yards on the catch and run," and Banks showed off some straight heat right there, trying to sprint away from those 2 safeties. Back upstairs to the sideline. A catch and a hard shot delivered.
Once again, he went to Garcia, on-hill Garcia, only with 2 catches going into this ball game and 1 TD, but he's had a couple already tonight in the 1st half.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Football at the Vista 38. Up the middle running, contained after a burst. They're going to shut that down at about the 35, so Cordova's going to need a couple more here. And
McCullough is down right now, took a pretty good hit.
Yeah, he was trying to fight for extra yardage. That play happened after he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he's not doing well. He's being attended to right now, and we're not even going to speculate one little bit on this.
Well, he didn't have good control. The handoff wasn't the greatest. He didn't have control of the ball when he got it.
This injury comes at the 7:50 mark, early here in the 2nd quarter of a ball game that's been filled with exciting plays that have produced a 20-14 Vista del Lago
Let's
lead.
have a look at the handoff to McCullough going inside, He gets hit by 2 or 3 guys. He's trying to get away and trying to spin out of it. Meanwhile, he gets caught in the debris there, and they're helping him off.
4 carries for 26 yards, an average of 6.5, but to the sidelines go the Lancers' top running back, who was averaging 134 yards a game, and he is not bearing any weight on that left leg. We'll wait for a report. So call it 3rd and 2. Johnson has run the football 7 times for 75 yards and really rescued the Lancers on several occasions, but whistles are going to stop this play.
False start on the offense.
Well, Xavier Johnson have a big night running off broken plays, and he is a big-time threat on anything, and particularly when he's sending 4 into the route. The secondary with their backs turned, and once he gets around the corner and breaks the perimeter, he is dangerous with that speed.
It brings up a 3rd and 7 now from the Vista 40. The Lancers backed up 5 on that, so they need a bigger hunk now. Double wide, triple wide receivers to the left. Johnson comes to the near side and throws to the sideline. A leaping grab by Garcia. Nice acrobatic elevation on that with extended arms.
He's got enough for a first down there. Outstanding throw by Xavier Johnson on the run. I really like the way he throws the ball on the run. Really, he breaks the perimeter. He's a run threat. Impressive young sophomore. Watch this now. Roll right, plant, throw. Nice job.
Excellent concentration. Gain of 10. 1st and 10 from the Vista 30. Run play is stymied, trying to get outside, and he does. Nice effort right there, and I'll tell you, Fight is quite a prospect, just a sophomore. He's now filling in for McCullough, and Raymond Fight, you're going to hear that name a lot.
Well, you certainly will. He's quick, very speedy, outstanding defensive back. Just certainly a guy that can play 3 or 4 positions, Will.
From the Vista 23 after that second yard. Boy, look at that pivot by Johnson. A juke move. Wow! Still on his feet and finally dropped after a 5-yard gain to the 25.
It's not a good route. I know you did not run a good route. Listen, Rip Noah, come on. Rip Noah, let's go.
So the football parked at the 25-yard line of Vista del Lago.
Hurry, let's go.
Well, Coach Neal wants him to get the plays off faster there, and the Lancers aren't responding as quick as he wants them to. He wants to get them in rhythm, in tempo.
Johnson, lob to the deep corner. An acrobatic leaping grab in the corner of the end zone. Wow. That was just tremendous concentration.
Number 8, Augusta. What a catch in the end zone with the corner all over him. Calvin Augusta, fantastic catch.
Cordova bouncing back from a 20-8 deficit has tied the score and threatening to take the lead. The score comes at the 6:07 mark, and we'll see what the Lancers have in mind. Looks like they're getting a play sent in from the sideline, and now head coach Darren Neal is going to call for a timeout so they can talk it over. Let's take another look at that 25-yard aerial connection. Here's the beautiful throw, and Augusta going well up with the defender right on him. Magnificent. That's his second touchdown grab of the game, and for the season, he's now got 5 TD receptions. So the play coming in from the side, it looked like they're going to try to kick for it. So in to do the booting Isaiah Wembley, apparently to do the booting. The hold will be by Raymond Fight, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a gadget attached to this play. Wembley lining it up, spotted, hesitation, kick, got it. It's a go-ahead PAT for Wembley and the Lancers. Let's take another look at the scoring strike as we go to break. Beautiful throw, great catch. Augusta with the 6. We'll be right back.
It's not always easy being a dad.
Do you have panda asthma too? Does that run in the family? Does that run in the family? This is the home of the most priceless kung fu artifacts.
But when you make an effort,
Dad, we're not supposed to touch anything. Oh, sorry. Go along, son.
it's always worth it.
Whoa!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I am gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Welcome to the fray here at Rancho Cordova's Lancer Stadium on the campus of Cordova High. We have got a doozy going for you here, midway second in Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week, a 2020 tie, Vista del Lago and Cordova. 95 yards in 6 plays on that drive engineered by Xavier Johnson. The ensuing kickoff, short, a pooch, and out of bounds, and a penalty flies. Let's check in with our partner, Rick Stewart.
Well, guys, the 2 players that were hurt individually in the ankle, McCullough's going to come back. He had his retaped. He said it was a minor twist. Joko, that's not another good sign. He said he's not sure he's going to be back in. It's a little more serious. He's not even being taped at this point. Guys, back to you.
Oh, that's a huge loss. Thank you, Rick. That is just a tremendous loss. The outstanding junior defensive end who's piled up 8 sacks and 9 hurries with 24 solo tackles. That's going to be a sorely missed standout right there. Meantime, Schaefer and the Eagles trailing for the first time in this ball game. We've had 2 ties, 8-8, and now 20-20 before the PAT gives the Lancers their first lead. Fake the draw, throw the swing. Nice speed on a cut, and he's loose in the secondary. Nice move to the middle. Wow! 3 Lancers finally tracked down
Tudor,
the elusive Tudor, who has been a demon tonight.
one of the killer bees we mentioned, Blake Tudor. And I'll tell you, if we see a replay, you're going to watch the great stalk blocking by the wides on that play. Wow, look at the blocking out there, particularly 84 Olives.
Look at that cut to freeze 2 guys. And finally, the pursuit catching him. First and goal from the 9. That was one heck of a return there. 56 yards on the catch and run.
Hole was wide open, but closed quickly by the linebacker. A big hole there for Norris, who's had a huge night thus far, over 80 yards with that run.
They give him the 5-yard line. Pickup of 4 on the play. To the wide side. They run it inside and dropped.
Well, there's Norris with a few more yards, getting closer to the end zone. Prior to that run, he had 6 for 79.
From the 3 now, it brings up a 3rd and goal for the Eagles. The last time they were down in this deep in the red zone, they got stuffed short. And it resulted in the Lancers putting together a 95-yard drive. So 2 big plays coming up here for the Eagles to try to get in. Low snap, fielded, thrown, complete, and touchdown Eagles. Tudor did some nice footwork after the catch and scores from 3 yards out.
That was quick.
That 56-yard play set up the whole thing, and they do score quickly. Eagles back on top, a little seesaw now, 26-21. They line up to go for 2. All night to throw, a bullet to the end zone, incomplete. Good coverage in that secondary. The pass fails, but at 4:34, let's take a look at the scoring play as we go to break. Tudor, nice juke there and power to get in. We'll be right back for more of the Game of the Week.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
It's been a thrill a minute here at Lancer Stadium. High scoring affair, 26-21 Vista. What you got, Coach?
Well, 3 straight 2-point conversions failed for Vista. Okay, they could come back and haunt them. Out of the 4 attempts, they've made 1 of the 2-pointers.
And that was the first one they attempted, as you say, 3 straight unsuccessful. Now a pooch kickoff, taking on the dead run and lateral running. Turn the corner and a nice gutty return out to the 35 or so. Sophomore John L. Sanders with the run back. 65 yards on 4 plays. So the Lancers set up shop now, trailing again with 4:26 to go in the half. At the Cordova 36.
Well, Vista can't afford to give up a broken play run by Johnson, who's piled up the yards tonight when they have not contained him.
They run off tackle left and get a yard or so. Not much doing there as the clock rolls at the 4:15 mark. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. So two key injuries against Cordova in this game. We'll see how the Lancers fare without a couple of their top guns. Johnson, a strike, broken up and dropped. Garcia, the intended receiver.
Well, once again, the corner play of Olive and Hall has been pretty good. Number 1, Olive with a nice high ball, and Olive with a nice save.
He was right there. So now it's going to bring up 3rd and 9, a crucial play here. 8 for 17 for 152 now through the air for sophomore Xavier Johnson, and he's really thrilled this crowd with some outstanding improvised running.
That's key down here, Will.
Triple wide to the left. Big rush. The bomb down the right sideline. Complete. Banks. All the way down to the Vista 20. That was just tremendous concentration. We've seen that all night long. Brandon Olive with the coverage. Another look.
Let's get Johnson back to pass. He goes deep. Down there, Banks taking an over-the-head catch. Right over the shoulder of the corner. Tremendous 39-yard play. Outstanding. Johnson put the ball over the top of that corner.
Faster!
From the 25 to the corner, Banks gets bumped and a flag comes out. Defensive pass interference. And the defensive back there gestured like, what am I supposed to do with that, man? Banks is a tough cover.
Pass interference on the defense.
Let's have a look at this. As you see Johnson going deep to the corner and reaching back is the receiver trying to make the catch on an underthrown ball. There wasn't much he could do.
No, there was not. And here's the walk-off now, the penalty yardage.
Pass interference on the defense.
Thank you, Rob Biddle. First down, Lancers. And they got the football parked at the 14-yard line.
Once again, they're working on this side, this corner here over and over again. Brandon Olive.
Big rush to the end zone, overthrown on a deep slant, pretty well covered, but a high strike.
Well, he put the ball on the line there. He's got to go nose up to the corner and let Banks win the jump ball. Well, I mean, it's happened over and over again tonight. He can reach over the top of cornerback Brandon Olive. They're not working against Hall on the other side.
That's understandable. I imagine Olive is saying by now, why are they picking on me? 2nd and 10 from the 14. Good protection. Lob, corner, leaping grab, touchdown Lancers. Let's go to the well again. And Olive has no answer for that.
Garcia, looked like Garcia.
Angel Garcia with the leaping grab. Tremendous. This has been a wild one here at Cordova High School. It's now 27-26. The Lancers back on top, and let's see, they're going to line up and go for another kick PAT apparently.
No, they're going for 2, Will.
Okay, they are going for 2. Throw to the corner, got it. A bullet hauled in beautifully. Boy, that ball had a lot of zip on it.
He hit Kenny Haney. With a shot, watch. Not this one, that was a touchdown by Garcia. Well, they threw a bullet to Haney for the 2-pointer.
Just tremendous, and the 2-pointer.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Well, this has been a topsy-turvy ball game from the beginning. What a first half. 29-26 Cordova as the Lancers go 65 yards in 5 plays in just over a minute.
Plenty of time for Vista to come back. That's a lot of time for these two teams. 2:51 on the clock to the halftime. Short kick.
Short kick. Run back to the 36 or so. And this game really warming up. Both these teams really need a victory here tonight. And I anticipated this would be a crossroads game for both of these squads, and they're playing up to it right now.
Well, they're right up this freeway here. Practically neighbors. These schools, Folsom, Cordova, Vista del Lago. Battle for the 50 corridor here.
Josh Colvin, right defensive end, is in for the injured Najaku. Motion in that Eagles backfield, and they're going to run it up the middle with Norris. Nice chop job.
Well, it is, but nice tackle in there.
Fight, or correction.
52.
That was a nice solo job right there by Michael Gonzalez, a veteran two-way starter. Schaefer upstairs, got a completion on a wide open receiver.
Well, they run 2 vertical on the far side, Will. They run one up the seam and they run a fade on the other side, and both of them were wide open. Wide open. Fade on the bench side, seam on the bench side, both 2 vertical routes.
Pugh with the reception, a pickup of 22 yards. Norris up the gut, and the penalty marker comes out as he gets inside the Cordova 35.
That means a hold is coming up. That would surprise me, and I didn't see any holding, but I guarantee there's a hold.
Rob Biddle.
You got a hold. Offense.
And once again, the Imperator was exactly correct.
I thought it was a late hold, but apparently it was there. It looked like it came after
holding.
Norris went
on
down.
The offense.
The football moved back now to the Cordova 47.
Well, he keeps you honest with Norris inside running those traps and draw plays, and then he comes down deep vertical. Once again, using 84 primarily as a decoy out here, very sizable. Vance Olives.
Over the middle, dropped. A catchable ball. And Hall, usually totally reliable, juggled that one in the clutches of the defense. 2nd and 16 from the Cordova 47.
Kenny Haney, nice job covering. Watch this.
Well, he's the hitter on this squad, and he just broke that up.
Yeah, very nice work.
The enforcer. 2nd down and long. Schaefer to the near side where he's got 3 receivers to the sideline. Boom! He breaks Olivas, tough to bring down, but he's grabbed after just a 3-yard, or I should say about a 7-yard pickup.
Well, big 3rd down and 9 coming, Will. Big 3rd down and 9, and 1 minute on the clock here. Let's look at that again. He rolls left, and there is Olives just sitting on the inside of that corner on a hitch, trying to break it.
4 wide receivers to the right. Schaefer rolls that way, 3rd and 8 to the sideline, and a breakup. Estrada with a solid hit out there. And Tudor, the intended receiver, and a penalty marker down in the secondary. So we'll wait and see about the flag. Rob Biddle will clarify for us.
Pass interference on the defense.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Hey, it's there.
Okay, pass interference. Move the chains.
What I like is a smile on head referee Biddle, whether he's calling a 15-yarder or 5.
So they mark it at the Cordova 25. 1st and 10 with 40 seconds to go. Eagles trying to beat the clock. They're down 29-26 here in a wild first half at Cordova. Quick shot right side, slip screen to the sideline and a little bit more inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, they run that bubble well over there, and they screen off very nicely. As you see, number 3 having Brendan Hall runs a terrific route. The other receivers do a great job of stalk blocking. Tudor,
another
Olives,
look here,
and Pugh. Have a look.
Wow, that was great. So they're set up 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Schaefer stop and gets popped.
See, there's where he'd like to have that back, Will, and throw the ball out of bounds. Stop the clock. There's nothing there. Throw it out of bounds.
Backup defensive end, Colvin, number 72, coming off the field with that shot. He's been filling in for the injured Kalechi Njaku, who came out early in the 2nd quarter with an injury, and doubtful if we'll see him return to action. So timeout on the field. It comes with 23 seconds left. The Eagles trying to get in and take a lead to the locker room at halftime, and it's been a wild ride when they get down to this kind of territory. Next week we've got a trip to Fair Oaks on hand. Roseville High, Larry Cunha's Tigers coming in to face Mike Domino's Del Campo Cougars, a battle of the cats in Fair Oaks. That should be a doozy, Jim.
It should be. Roseville Cunha's Tigers are off to a great start. They're 3-0, and they definitely are a threat in that very, very tough CAL. The Cal League is very, very tough with Whitney and Cosumnes Oaks, Antelope, Roseville, Del Campo. I'll tell you, that's up for grabs, as was last year.
It is. That's a week from tonight, September 23rd, 7 p.m. right here on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week, Channel 17. Total offense, Vista, 340 yards in the first half, 323 for the Lancers, and I guess I was right about this one. Just a remarkable first half firework display. And these fans have already had their money's worth after the first quarter.
Well, they certainly have a thrill a minute, and these teams are capable of coming. They've thrown defense out the window here tonight. As you see a mark off here, Will.
Personal foul.
Dead ball, personal foul. Okay. Second and goal from the 6. Schaefer and the Eagles are set up. Let's see if they can cash it in. Shotgun formation, 3 wideouts to the left. Over the middle, a bullet. Touchdown Eagles on a perfect strike with close coverage. Brendan Hall with his second TD grab, 8 yards out. That puts the Eagles back on top, 32-29. It comes with 18 seconds to go. So the Eagles, who have been successful on just 1 out of 4 2-pointers, are going for it again. Throw into the end zone, wild and off target, incomplete. But the Eagles have retaken the lead here late in the second quarter, up now 32-29. Okay, let's see how they did it. Brendan Hall right there, the good hands man, and they get into the end zone. We'll be right back to the Game of the Week.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Well, it's been a rocky ride here in Cordova, but a very pleasant and entertaining ride. Fireworks display. The latest firework to go off, a 65-yard drive in 8 plays by the Eagles, capped off with the TD throw to Brendan Hall, putting the Eagles on top by 3. They're set to kick off, and after booming several kickoffs out of the end zone, here comes another one. Bader, another bomb.
Well, speaking of bombs, the last 4 2-point conversions have failed. They converted the first one, and since then, they have not converted one. And it's easy from here, Will. And I know they've done a lot of it, and I know Coach knows he's going to put more. Coach Trubing is very confident they will put more touchdowns. But once again, you look at this young man kick and putting the ball in the end zone, he's certainly got plenty of foot.
Oh, brother. He's the best we've seen this year.
Without a doubt.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's consistently puts that ball in the end zone. And having heard that during practice, he's consistent as well.
Fight into the backfield with Xavier Johnson, who throws deep again over the middle. right. Another bomb. Let's see if they can stop the clock. There's 8 seconds.
Well,
Angel Garcia comes up again with another extraordinary catch.
Well, in all due respect to Johnson throwing the ball and Garcia's catch, there were 3 DBs in the area. In my opinion, that ball should have been deflected or intercepted.
Timeout.
If you see that, again, you'll see 3 white jerseys there. None of them went to the football. But let's look at this now, see if we get coverage downfield.
Nice throw by Xavier
There's
Johnson.
3 of them.
2 of them were beat flat, and the other one was out of position. 45 yards on that hookup. Boy, these individual stats are going to be tremendous.
Well, they went to the well again, and Garcia's been coming up with some great catches. Augusta as well, Banks as well. Garcia and Banks and Augusta are a tremendous trio to throw to. We haven't even heard from Tate much. Really, Augusta, Banks, Garcia.
Well, there's a good look at that Cordova huddle. They've only got 8 seconds to work with here before the half.
Well, once again, I see him going to the corner upstairs because of 2 factors. The jump ball factor, and secondly, he could come out of there with an interference call, okay, Will, and be entitled to another play.
They deploy double wideouts to the left and to the right.
This cheating the safety's over.
Marker flies.
False start on the offense.
Well, there you see McCullough.
Looks like he might be done for the evening. He's got his pads off, and the noticeable limp indicates to me for a tough customer like that he's got hit pretty good. 2nd down and 15. Over the middle, broken up.
Very nice job in there by number 20. Excellent defense by 20.
Hunter Corbett.
Hunter Corbett getting his chance tonight.
Two seconds left, time for 1 play. It's a 2nd and 15, but I'd have to imagine they're going to throw the deep ball like you thought, Coach.
Well, he's pretty much has to here and throw the Hail Mary to the corner and hope for hope once again they can win the jump ball or get an interference call.
3 receivers to the far side.
He's got safety help this time, though.
Johnson rushed hard, and he's going down. Excellent pass rush that time. And we were waiting for Hull's name to come up. He was one of the leading tacklers on this team coming into the game, but I didn't see him on the depth chart too handily. And that's the way the half ends, with the visiting Vista del Lago Eagles on top for now by a score of 32-29 over the host Cordova Lancers. We're going to stay right here because we've got an interview upcoming with Vista del Lago head coach Mike Strubing, and I imagine he's quite relieved to have re-seized the lead after seesaw action for about a quarter and a half. Now this has been one electrifying offensive display, and the defenses are just getting shredded in a ball game with 9 touchdowns in just 1 half of play.
61 points in 24 minutes is a lot of scoring.
It is. That would be a typical final score around the area.
Without a doubt.
Just about the same score that the Lancers were beaten last week, 31-29 by Rio Linda. Okay, let's turn our attention to Rick Stewart. He's standing by. Rick?
All right, Coach, a lot of scoring in the first half, a lot of total offense. Is it what you expected?
Yeah, we know those guys can get up and down the field, and they certainly proved that in the first half. We moved the ball well ourselves. We just got to play some defense here in the second half.
What's it going to take for either team, your team in this case, to play the defense that's needed?
We just need to settle in and play our game. We thought we had a couple bad breaks in the first half. We thought we got a couple push-off calls, not called on us, where their receiver pushed off on our guy in the end zone. But it's football. Those are the breaks sometimes, and you just got to come out and play.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. All right. Guys, back up to you. What a game. What a game.
Say that once more, Rick, because it is what a game. Wouldn't you say, Coach?
Without a question. I'll tell you one, everybody's getting their money's worth here with this 32-29 ball game, and they score points at a very high rate. Got some terrific athletes on the field well, and I don't care who they played previous coming into this ball game. As we said, we'll settle it on the field, and they are.
Okay, it looks like Rick Stewart has another guest lined up. We'll take a break and come right back to Cordova High.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
And there you go. There's a score, 32-29. Vista del Lago at halftime in the lead over the Cordova High School Lancers. A lot of scoring. It's what we're here for on a Friday night. But what we're really here for is Josh Krieger. Now, Josh, tell me your official title. You wear a lot of hats here.
I'm the activities director here at Cordova High School. I'm also a teacher and former alumni of Cordova High School as well.
So how cool is it to come back and work where you went to school?
It's fantastic. I do have a few teachers of mine. Actually, the principal, Mr. Inklin, was my 8th grade science teacher and wrestling coach.
and getting sent to his office now has a whole new meaning.
It does, yeah. It wasn't pleasant then, and it's not pleasant now. No, just kidding. He's a great guy. He's a great guy to work for.
Okay, now the school itself, I mean, there's a whole lot of things going on, but one of the things you're involved in is some video, and you've put together some video that we're going to take a look at. Tell me a little bit about the process to put that together first.
All right, well, we got the information about putting together some clips for you guys. So I teach a media productions class, which is relatively new here on campus. It was something we didn't have here at Cordova, and we started it up a few years ago. So I asked my kids, hey, man, we need to find some clips for these guys. Let's go through our old footage. We took some newer shots as well. We have some kids that have some drone footage that they took, and a lot of other stuff going on. We got some from our rallies. We use a variety of different cameras. We had some nice Canons and some little handhelds and some GoPros and stuff. So we just kind of went through what we had. We also used some district footage that they took. But a lot of my kids are also at the district office level, and they put together packages for the district. So we had access to that footage as well.
Okay, well, we've got a couple of the videos, and we're looking at them here. Go ahead and tell me what we're seeing.
All right, this is a shot of our field here taken with a drone. And this one I actually took with the kids. This is before the last football game, or the first football game, I think it was, at home here. Kevin Sims and the band director. So this is just our kids and myself shooting on the sidelines and capturing the action here at Cordova High.
Now, those are the old uniforms, not the real cool ones that we're wearing tonight.
You see those, the black ones? They're pretty nice, aren't they? Coach Neal and his wife has done a great job here with the program at Cordova High School for sure. Couldn't be more proud as a Lancer.
Now, how much does it improve the school feeling, if you will, to have an athletic program that bleeds over into the spirit?
Oh, it's absolutely great. It makes our rallies much more intensified. There's a different pep in the step of the kids on campus for sure. They're excited to know a game's coming up. And it's not just in football. We have a lot of great things going on with basketball and our soccer programs and girls volleyball and all that good stuff. So it's good to have. Girls golf is new this last few years too as well, so that's good.
Golf team, cool. Now, when did they start that? I mean, just a couple years ago you said, but had they been planning that?
There always was an interest, I know, about 10 years ago, and there's a couple kids trickling in here and there, but that is definitely something that's gotten off the ground the last few years. So.
Okay, now what are we seeing here? This is Megan Cook that we're looking at, the diploma chemistry leader.
Oh, yeah, so that's Miss Cook. She's my colleague, great friend of mine as well. So she works, she's our science department head, but she's talking about our IB program we have at Cordova, which is also new this year. We're doing, or not this year, sorry, the last couple of years with MYP and IB. It's an international program that kids, their high school diploma is good all over the world, not just in California or in the United States of America.
Now, that's actually for the students that are probably a little higher GPA than I had in high school.
Oh, me too, sir. Me too. Don't worry. Yeah. It's a great program we have here, though, and we just had our first graduating diploma kids this last year. And Ms. Cook just took the kids on a field trip with some of the other teachers on Wednesday. They went out in the field and did a lot of great experiments and stuff. So, and science is actually what got me into teaching, so it's close to my heart there. So.
Okay, so the programs that you have, the International Baccalaureate programs and such things, how does that improve the school, not only, you don't want to say system, but the thinking within the school?
Well, it kind of calls the kids to step up educationally and mentally, for sure. It's a challenging program, and not just the kids, but the staff as well. The teachers, we definitely have to take a lot of different trainings. It's a new way of teaching, a new way of grading. And the kids find it challenging, but I think they like it. So they take a bit of pride in it, I think, doing it. So in last year's graduating group, it was the first year that those kids were able to wear the International Baccalaureate sashes and stuff, and that was a great sense of pride for them. I think it's a sense of pride for the community as well.
Now, there's something else to your title. You're the Link Crew Leader. Tell me what that entails, what it is, and what it entails.
All right, that's something me and Mr. Wegstein started just 2 years ago. We're on our second year of it, and I got my Link Crew Coordinator jacket on here today. We brought on a couple other teachers, Miss Bronze and Miss Coleman. And what it is, it's a mentoring program. So we take seniors and juniors and link them to freshmen. First day of school, they don't actually go to classes. They go into the gym and they meet their link leaders. We do a lot of fun activities with them, and we mentor them throughout the entire year. So we do various activities. We reward freshmen. All the kids that were in a sport this fall, we give them a popsicle stick and stuff like that. This next Wednesday, all the kids that have perfect attendance, they get a little prize. And so we ask our link leaders to go out and meet their freshmen all the time and give them awards, just for being an awesome Lancer and just doing good things on this campus. So it's the second year of that, and we're, getting it off the ground. It's going really well.
So it's kind of a smoothing out process of the introduction to high school.
Everything in education is a little bit of a smoothing out process. But yeah, so the idea is to link these kids, and so freshman year is the highest rate of, where kids kind of fall behind and stuff. So this program is really shown that it's not just for the freshmen, really. It's also for the seniors and juniors. It gives them a sense of pride. They have their own shirt. We do their own activities. And they really take it upon themselves to try to make the school a better place. And we're working from the bottom up. The freshmen come in. Let's wrap our arms around them, figuratively, of course, and show them the ropes of what it means to be a Lancer. First day of school, we put on a rally just for the freshmen and stuff.
Well, and it also teaches them a little bit about leadership, too.
Absolutely. So it is all about being a link leader, and that's the big thing. We want them to take pride in themselves, take pride in the school, take pride in the freshmen. And I always tell kids, you want to leave wherever you're at a better place than when you got here.
Excellent. Josh Krieger here from Cordova High School. Thanks for being with us tonight, Josh, and spending some time with us and telling us about the school.
Hey, absolutely. My pleasure. Anytime I can talk about Cordova High School, I'm here.
There you go. All right, we're going to take a break. It's 32-29 in the favor of Vista del Lago over the Cordova Lancers. Halftime. We'll be right back.
Hey Gabby, how you doing? How was the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi babe, how was school today?
Hi Dad, it was great.
Okay honey, I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
You can see the score, 32-29. Vista in the lead over Cordova High tonight at halftime. I'm here with Jason Johnson. Jason, obviously the injury, the foot, thought it was a sprain, got more information. There was a break in there somewhere. How bad is it?
It sidelined me for about 4 weeks, so I got another 2 to 3 weeks at least with this boot on.
Okay.
So
you'll be back before the season's over to get a little time. His senior year, I mean, how difficult is that?
You know, it's a heartbreaker, but it's also an eye-opener at the same time because it makes me realize that, I'm not invincible. Stuff like this could happen, and overall it's going to make me better as a person because, you got to go through things in life that are tough.
Well, and the sorry point about it is you get a little extra time to study, too.
Yeah, that always helps. That comes in handy.
Okay, now tell me what you saw out there in the first half. I mean, a lot of scoring, almost 700 yards in total offense, both teams. I mean, can they spell defense?
I mean, who knows at this game? Obviously, you see the score, but, it's competitive on both sides, so this is overall a good game. It's a shootout.
As far as what Cordova was able to do against Vista, was there anything that surprised you? They passed really well, didn't run so well. Now, you've got a couple injuries, too. It doesn't look like either one of those two players are going to be back for the night. How much is that going to be an impact?
Overall, I don't think it's going to be that much of an impact because it doesn't matter. Like, it seems our team overall is just strong. So, I mean, we have players that can step up and get the job done at any level.
What was Vista able to do, in your eyes, to stop Cordova?
Run the ball, and overall, just keep our run game down. That's all it seems like they were doing.
All right, we'll be right back and talk a little bit more about second half. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. It's 32-29. Vista in the lead at halftime over Cordova. We'll be right back.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Let's go, Pearly Whites, man. Yeah. The boys, check it. Yeah.
Ooh, cute. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up? How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back to Lancer Stadium here at Cordova High School. This is Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week with Jim Domino and Rick Stewart. I'm Will James, and we have been treated to a spectacular, exhausting first half of play. There you see the graphic, a ton of scoring in the opening half, and we're going to go ahead and splash our first half stats courtesy of our executive statistician, Gary Martin. And what a set of numbers these are.
Very impressive stat. First of all, a lot of points scored when you score that many points in a half of a ball game, where this would be the final score, and many 29 by one team, 32 by the other. Look at the rushing yards. We're almost even, 95 to 101. And of the 95, that Norris back has probably 80-plus yards of that himself. Passing yards, very close. Surprisingly, everyone expected Schaefer to have the yards, right? But who expected Johnson to have those kind of yards, Will?
No, just terrific. And it should be noted that as you see how even it is on first downs, penalties still a bugaboo for the Lancers. However, spotty that was, a very clean ball game in terms of 0 turnovers.
That's surprising. With this amount of scoring, that is very, very surprising. I think we had one bobble by McCullough, but he recovered his own. And even the time of possession is very even. I mean, it just really is. This is a pretty even ball game.
Individually speaking, Norris with 87 yards on 9 carries. And in the passing department, Schaefer 17 of 21. He's got a few touchdowns. And then his receivers, Teeter, Hall, and Olive, I should say Olivas, just having a field day. And for Cordova, Johnson's rushed for 58, as we see some of the Vista highlights on their first TD.
There you see the first one, and now you see Schaefer back to pass there. and all alone and taking it into the end zone. It looks like certainly Mr. Hall has had many this year. Brendan Hall, number 3.
5 catches for 74 yards in that
Great
first half.
Yeah. Like you say, Olivas is having a good day, and I'm impressed with Olivas' blocking without the football. Very big kid, 84. There you see Norris, and I think we've got to be surprised with his running up the gut. Have you?
No, he's done a whale of a job running to daylight beautifully, and he's led Vista, while Johnson with 58 has led Cordova in the rushing department. But McCullough, an injury, he's done for the day. And in the receiving department, Garcia's had a spectacular game. 5 catches for 80. He's got a TD, and Banks has just been marvelous. 4 grabs for 99, a couple touchdowns, and Augusta 2 scores. So that trio right there is offsetting the big 3 for Vista very well. It should be noted here that probably one of the big keys is going to be 3 injured stars for the Lancers. Jason Johnson, who you saw interviewed, hasn't played at all today with the broken foot, their second top tackler. Deontay McCullough is not going to get his 134 yards today. Injured leg, came back gamely but couldn't go. And then Kalechi and Njoku, the fabulous junior defensive end, injured in the first half. Doubtful if he'll return. So you got Cordova playing with that 3 of their superstars.
Well, yeah. Well, yes, that's going to hurt them.
Okay, let's visit with Rick Stewart again. He's got something going on down at field level. Rick? Oh, well, okay. If that's the case, I'll just do it myself.
Well, again...
yes, I remember now. Thank you, Ronicia. You know, Ronicia is just our wonderful game director, and I love her reminders. Jim, I know you put together another terrific Domino's Dozen. It's our weekly area rankings compiled by the Imperator.
Well, once again, here we go. Del Oro, still number 1, went down there to the Bay Area and defeated an undefeated Bellarmine Ball Club, who last year eliminated Folsom from the regional playoffs. Great win for Del Oro. Folsom number 2, we saw them over Jesuit, Elk Grove on a bye. Grant, Oak Ridge is one heck of a ball club. They kind of pounded Vista early this year. And right behind them, Rockland with only loss to Grant. Antelope, Monterey Trail having a great year. TJ's club is 3-0. Jesuit has only lost to Folsom, Sheldon, Cosumnes Oaks, and Franklin. And in the red zone quickly, Whitney in that tough Cal League, Roseville 3-0. Sackeye coming back. Intercom, Del Campo, we'll see Del Campo Roseville next week. Vista del Lago putting on quite a show here tonight. Volux El Dorado Club at 19 and surprising El Camino at number 20.
Thanks, Jim. Let's turn our attention to Rick Stewart. He's standing by with Coach Neal. Rick?
A couple of defenses, our kids weren't comfortable with them. We switched back to what we do best, and it's paying off. They're doing well.
A couple serious injuries, McCullough and Njoku. How much is that going to impact you guys?
Yeah, DJ's out for the rest of the game, so we got to go with Raymond Fight as our tailback, and Kalechi and Njoku is going to come out. He's going to come out and play.
Okay, so good luck in the second half, Coach. Thanks
you.
for being with
All
us.
right.
All right, there you go, guys. Back to you. There's chances.
Thank you, Rick. Well, gamesmanship is certainly a component of this Cordova Lancers Ball Club, and we just heard from Coach Neal that standout defensive end Kalechi and Njoku will indeed return to action here in the second half. He wears number 15. We'll keep our eyes on him and see how well he's able to work off that injury. Both clubs back onto the field after probably what was a serious halftime discussion in both locker rooms. We'll be right back before the start of quarter number 3. Stay with us.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Let's hit those pearly whites, man. Yeah! Good boys, check it, snap.
Cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up? What's happening? How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir.
See ya, buddy. Today Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Well, a festive atmosphere this evening at Cordova High School's Lancer Stadium. We're just completing the intermission here with the scoreboard showing visiting Vista del Lago on top 32-29 over host Cordova. And what has been a major scoring fest in tonight's ball game, and we'll just have to see if they can maintain that. Again, serious injuries, well, I should say injuries to important players for Cordova. Going to play a little shorthanded here in the second half, and it'll be interesting to see what type of adjustments are going to be made along the way. But Raymond Fight will be in that tailback position, replacing the injured Deontay McCullough for the Lancers.
Well, I saw him take a few carries. I was impressed with his running a couple of times here tonight toward the end of the half. He looks like he's a decent runner.
Well, again, last year as a freshman on the JV, he returned 9 kicks for touchdowns. He's got speed to burn. Tall and rangy, just a sophomore. This could be his night to play big.
It'll be interesting on this kickoff here now. In their kickoffs, they haven't shown much depth going deep here with Isaiah Wimberly or Clifford Bright with the kickoff here, and they've enabled Vista to end up in great field position. Plus, they've kicked 2 out of bounds, which gave them the ball on the 35, Will.
Penalties hurt them in those instances. It's apparent that Vista has the superior kicking game just on the Bader kickoffs alone. High and short. It's going to give Vista some good field position. Bobbled nearly. And to the near side. Out across the 35. Matt Karp, 21, with the return. And Schaefer and the Eagles offense comes onto the field, and they have lit it up for 348 yards of total offense. He's passed for 253. And Xavier Johnson of Cordova has duplicated those totals on the other side. So here we go. From the 34, 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Triple wide receivers to the left, or to the right. Uh-oh, bad snap. Schaefer's after it. Picks it up, running for his life, and gets blasted inside the 20.
Well, he appeared to me to take his eye off the ball, and I don't think he was ready for the ball to be snapped. I don't believe the snap was that bad if we see it again.
Haney was all over him. Number 9, Kenny Haney, the enforcer. And he had a clean one-on-one shot with Schaefer and dropped him
Minus
flat.
14-yard loss.
Incomplete on the sideline throw.
They're dropping 6 into coverage and sometime 7. And this is why they're able to get Norris through the middle when 7 are dropping, and particularly off draw action. And Schaefer is picking up some yards himself. As you see now, they've got Cordova spread all over on D.
3rd and 24. Schaefer is going to have to take a bigger bite. He's got a completion, but it's going to be shy of a first down near the 38-yard line. A nice strike on that. And it was Norris with the grab.
I'll be surprised if they don't punt, Will. They're similar to Folsom. They don't like to punt. And here they are with 4th and a long 6.
So they switch at the last minute and bring on the punting unit. So the speedster, Raymond Fight, deep to receive, standing inside the Cordova 30. Bader taking his time and just gets it away directly at the return man, but it's going to bounce short, and they let it roll, and it's going to trickle near the 20-yard line.
That's a pretty good roll by punter Kate Bader, 40-yard punt. Very nice.
Well, he's impressed us with his booming kickoffs, and now an effective punt. So average field position upcoming for the Lancers, but they do hold on defense on the first Eagles possession. Football parked at the Cordova 21. Xavier Johnson issuing instructions. Handoff and a spin move is going to get a little bit. So they give him a bit better than that. 3 yards on the carry by Fight. 2nd and 7. They overload the near side. Johnson to throw. Big rush! And he's going to throw it away all the way out onto the track here. He did have Fight along the sideline there, so incomplete. 3rd and 7.
Well, I'm glad the official didn't rule a throwaway, because I've been at games this year where they've penalized, and I can't believe they have penalized them for throwing a ball out of bounds.
So Johnson briefly to the sideline to get some verbal instruction.
Big down, 3rd and about 7, big down. I thought he was going to get the ball off to Fight was swinging out of the backfield and is dangerous.
Nate Williams is into the ball game for Cordova. Heavy pressure, but he rolls away from it, and he's got some field in front of him. And he's turned back, and he might be shy of that first down.
Well, he had the first down if he just fell forward. He had the first down.
It's going to bring up a 4th and short.
Wow, they're giving him a good mark.
4th and 1, gain of 6.
They're giving him a very good mark. Watch Johnson flush the pocket, and he appears to get a first down, and then he tries to get more, and they back him up, but Coach Neal is not taking a chance.
No. It was Olivas with secondary help from linebacker Adam McMahon to shut that down. A fake punt, and it's well covered. Fight, stumbling forward, cannot make it. Did he get it?
Well, I think he's short because he went out of bounds. They're not giving him a good mark there.
Oh, they might have to measure for
No,
this.
he's went out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness. Right in front of the...
Yeah, he could have made the first down. No, he could have made it.
Well, they rolled the dice on a big-time gamble here early in the 3rd quarter, and the ball goes over. It sets up the Eagles beautifully. Field position at the Lancer 30. Pressure on the defense now. Norris up the gut. Power running inside the 25.
Well, Gonzalez had a shot on him at the line of scrimmage there, and Norris evaded him, and with that run, he's probably over the 100-yard mark early in this second half.
6 yards on the pickup, an injured Lancer down on the field, and I think it's Fidel Romero. and he's not doing well. Another key injury sustained by the Lancers. Let's take a look at that last play.
Have a look at this. They give the ball up, right up the middle. Once again to Norris, and he picks up about 6 or 7, got 93 yards for the night. I think we just got a cramp problem there, Will. I think he's going to be fine.
Well, that's good news right there. Still a stoppage of play here until Fidel Romero is attended to. The stoppage comes at the 8:56 mark, early third, in a situation where the Eagles are set up beautifully in field position after Cordova's fake punt falls short of a first down. So Romero's going to be okay. A limp off with the cramp, but another substitute into that defensive lineup. Well, let's see what Brent Schaefer and the Eagles offense has in mind.
Well, they're giving a slot back. If you look right now on the pre-snap, Will, if you look to the far side, look at the room the slot back has on the far side. He can run a hitch, and there's nobody on him right now.
He's all alone, but they go to Norris up the middle, and he's chopped at the 20. Haney, number 9, with the hit.
Schaefer never looked at the slot back.
He's shy of the first. It's going to bring up a third and a short one.
They're finally bringing the safety up a bit. He's still there. My goodness.
3rd and 1. He might go for more. Going for the deep throw, and he's got a completion just outside the 10-yard line with 3 Lancers around him.
Well, it looks like they're in the coverage, and they're going to have to react to the football better. When that ball is out of the hands of Schaefer, they've got to close to the ball.
Brendan Pugh has the catch here, number 22. Run play to the 5.
The 2 inside people did not appear to be ready. Zimmer and the replacement for Romero, which looked like, I believe, number 75 for the Lancers, looked like Joe Salcido.
Well, we have another fallen Lancer here.
I don't know if they're taking enough water at half or all week long.
Well, Coach Neal said they were very well conditioned. Don't know the nature of this, whether it's hydration issue or not. Let's take another look at that last play.
There you see, right up the middle.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal from the 5. In a sequence here that has really taken the rhythm out of this game. We've had 2 stoppages now for injuries. Now that's an important situation right there. Pugh is a defensive replacement for Jason Johnson, the all-league linebacker who Rick Stewart interviewed at the half. Johnson suffered a broken foot last week in the Rio Linda game, and Pugh, an excellent sub, is now hobbling and not at full capacity. 2nd and goal from the 5.
Well, they're dropping 8 in the coverage here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they run inside with their running back.
Norris has the pill up the gut, dropped short, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from about the 2.
They showed 3 downmen. 3 downmen, 8 up off the ball. That's a good call to run your running back up inside.
So referee Rob Biddle is going to call a timeout here to get this situation squared away.
All right, let's look at this last play with Norris going inside again on the lead. Down to about, looks like down to about the 3.
Mm-hmm. There's the stretch of the chains. Let's see if we can get a tight shot on that stake. And they're going to be short, it looks like, by a foot. Oh, now he's going to pull it all the way. Close. First down, Vista. Okay, they're set up. First and goal, Vista del Lago trying to stretch its flimsy 3-point lead. No spot on the field to make a mistake, but that Cordova defense will be swarming. Turn and give. Contact near the goal line. Second effort. Touchdown, Eagles. Boy, what a workhorse, Dominic Norris.
Well, if you had any doubt who Norris was during the week, you know who he is tonight.
Breakout game, obviously, for this unsung hero. He's having a whale of a ball game, and they've run him up the middle repeatedly. So the TD gives the Eagles a 38-29 lead. Again, they go for two. They've been successful on just 1 of 5. A stumble and short, and that one is busted as well.
Okay. Norris gets tripped up on a 2-point conversion there, as you see the handoff to Norris. There he is, and gets tripped up short of the goal line. And once again, for the 5th straight time, do not get a 2-point conversion.
So the score stands 38-29. We'll be right back. Appreciate the audio. We're here at Cordova High School, and we have got a wild ball game. Another booming kickoff. Bader, the bomb. So 1st and 10 from the Cordova 20 for the host Lancers. They're now down by 9 after the Eagles go 30 yards, 7 plays in just under 2 minutes. Their field position was set up by a failed fake punt run on 4th and short, giving the Eagles the football there at the 30. So here come the Lancers, needing a score on the run. Johnson, a throw, a bobble, and an incompletion. Tough luck for the Lancers there, playing shorthanded, minus a handful of key players now falling to injuries.
Well, it just appears that early in this second half, this game has slowed down. And the reason I think it slowed down is the pace they were at in the first half.
Now Johnson, 11 for 24 for 251 after that incompletion. Needs to crank up some yardage here, and they need to bite into that 9-point deficit. Still a long way to go, better than 7 minutes here in the third quarter, but now flags fly. Procedure call against Cordova. In the first half, they got whistled 7 times for 68 yards. And they get it again here. And when talking to Coach Nill during the week, he says one of their priorities is to eliminate excessive penalties and careless mistakes. So the -5.
It appears both clubs are definitely playing at a slower pace, Will. And that the first half took a lot out of both these teams.
Big rush. Johnson trapped and cannot get away as he's dropped at the 5. A 10-yard loss on the play. Again, David Hull's name comes up big for the Eagles, the forgotten linebacker. Also there, Adam King. Let's take another look.
Let's have a look. Johnson going back and trying to flush the pocket. The whole whites are all over. The Vista is all over him. And his sixth sack of the night.
He had 6 coming into this game in 3 games. Now he's got 6 in 1 game. He's got some room here. He cuts it, puts a move on outside the 20 to the 25 and a little bit more. Shy of a first. It's going to bring up a 4th and short.
They look about 4 yards short.
They spot it at the 26.
$21-yard gain on that scamper.
So let's see if the Lancers can get off an effective punt. Alvin Banks is the man. A wobbly spiral over Hall's head, but he's back to field it and gets dropped. Nice play there on downfield coverage by the Lancers. Well,
it looked like a very nice play.
Dante Pinnell, 39-yard punt by Banks.
Very good coverage by Dante Pinnell. No return.
So the Eagles set up shop 1st and 10 from the Vista 32 here with 5:19 to go in the 3rd. Quick shot, left side, boom! That play was defensed very well.
Great job.
Tudor and Raymond Fight, the junior running back, defensive back, came roaring up from the secondary and dropped him hard.
Great fight, great play, and that's one of the few times I've seen 84 miss his block.
Loss of 3. Schaefer scrambling, cuts, gets spun around and drilled. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. The football parked back at the original line of scrimmage.
Watch Schaefer here, trying to go to the left, flushes the pocket, and then gets hit pretty good in there by the Lancers.
A huge 3rd and 9 upcoming for the Eagles. Cordova looking for a stop. Short pass and a completion, and they're shy of a first at the 41-yard line, but they may go for it as Pugh makes the catch.
They're a yard short, and let's see here. Have a look at this. Here's Schaefer back to throw.
A huge 4th and 1, and the Cordova line jumps. And there is a gift.
Well, credit Schaefer. Schaefer went non-rhythmic. Great job by quarterback Schaefer.
Neutral zone infraction.
Well, that's a sampling of what Cordova's gone through today. That may be McCullough. I'm not sure. I can't see his number there. In the meantime, 1st and 10. Schaefer throwing deep. A bump and a drop. Incomplete. Good coverage. Ball slightly underthrown.
Yeah, it was underthrown, and I thought that Olives got away with a little bit of push off there.
Tyreek Tate with the coverage in the secondary. 2nd and 10 from the 46. Norris gets pounded crossing the 45 to the line of scrimmage. Took a couple of shots there.
I'll tell you, Haney didn't make the tackle, but I like what he did. He took on the lead blocker, decked him, and made the play.
Number 9, the enforcer, the big hitter on this outfield. And Kenny Haney makes his presence known. 3rd and 10. All night to throw. Schaefer over the middle, incomplete.
Wow.
The pass was well behind the receiver and probably thought uncatchable. But I see a penalty marker dropped at the 45. Referee Rob Biddle.
Got pass interference on the defense.
Well, the flag was thrown before contact. The flag was thrown earlier than.
He can't even catch it!
It really had nothing to do with the catch. It was thrown before.
So it's a first down for the Eagles. They spot the football at the Cordova 39. Fresh set of downs for Schaefer and company. A bullet over the middle, and it's a completion as he stuck it between two defenders on a pinpoint strike, and it's Pugh again with the catch.
Brandon Pugh with a nice catch over the middle. He's mixing it up now. It seems like he's willing to go more underneath Will to the seam area, to the up into the seam zones. Have a look at this. You see Schaefer fake inside and goes real hard inside to number 22, Brendan Pugh.
Right side running. Norris turns the corner and gets around the corner. And that's going to be another first down to the 10-yard line.
It's understandable with Coach Stubble feeling very strongly about Norris's hard-nosed running, good blocker, good receiver. Watch Norris here take the handoff. I like the way he drops his shoulder down. He gets up
Norris
the field.
Again, straight up the middle, and he's inside the 5.
He's got great body lean. He really does. Runs hard inside.
2nd and goal. Football parked at the 4. Near the goal line, short.
I thought he broke the plane, but apparently not.
So they're inches away, trying to increase on a 9-point lead in the final 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter. There's number 34, Dominic Norris, who's had a whale of a ball game. Probably his finest performance of the season thus far. There it is. Power plus touchdown Eagles. Norris caps off an impressive drive. And that makes the score now 44-29. Eagles have been in the end zone all night. And again, Cordova playing without some of their defensive stoppers. They go again for 2, and they have not done well in that department. Norris, here comes a flag out as he turns the corner.
Holding. Let's see if he brings in the kicker after that holding. Does Cade Bader get a chance to kick one?
I think he ought to have a chance.
Gosh.
That was holding against the Eagles. This will be retried again from about the 13-yard line.
So holding backs up the Eagles.
No sign of Bader.
No sign. Schaefer's got it. Into the end zone, intercepted at the goal line. It's the first turnover of the game, and Kenny Haney with the grab. And here's a replay on the TD by Norris, putting the Eagles up 44-29. We'll be right back.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
In 3 minutes, 55 seconds, the Vista del Lago Eagles go 68 yards in 10 plays. And most of that drive belonged to Dominic Norris, who cashed it in, finishing the drive with a short TD blast. 44-29, Eagles on top, and another booming kickoff, a line drive to the goal line, touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Lancers, who've got some catching up to do. After having a scintillating first half of scoring, their offense really lighting it up, especially through the air. The second half they've been in a funk, so to speak. There's been 2 or 3 stoppages for injured players, and Vista has cashed in 2 third-quarter TDs to break open a tight game. Norris a handoff. Raymond
another cramp. Another cramp.
Let's have another look. I don't think that was Fight. I thought that was number 15 right there, which would be our defensive end running back. And I believe that's correct. 15 had that carry, so.
Yeah.
He's run for a couple of short yardage touchdowns this year.
And Joku with the carry.
So they give him 5 on the play, 2nd and 5. We'll see about the. We've had a rash of these cramping injuries here in the second half. I don't know exactly what to attribute that to, except jumping to the conclusion that hydration is insufficient.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
A minute 9 left in the third as the fallen Lancer is being helped up. And again, Fidel Romero, he was down earlier in the ball game with a cramp. And he'll come off again. Got to give him some credit on his gamesmanship. A veteran wants to be in there.
Well, I'm sure the coaches have told them they've got to, they've got to hydrate all week long, and not just at school and not just at practice. They got to really hydrate 24/7, particularly early in the season.
Unusual formation. Augusta in the backfield, along with Kalichi. Here's a pass out to the left side. And it was close to first down yardage when he made the catch, and then he came back trying to shake loose.
Yeah, that looked like Raymond Fight. Or was it Banks?
It was Banks.
Banks, okay.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Here's another
Let's have
look.
another look at this. Johnson to Banks. Like you said, Will, he could have stayed down right there, probably moved the chains.
3rd and 2 at the Cordova 28. Big play here for the Lancers to sustain their drive. Big rush on Johnson, and he's dropped inside the 15-yard line. Boy, they have blitzed at exactly the right time. And King came up big that time for the Eagles. Adam King, one of the impact players.
I think it's a combination of one tired guy, Xavier Johnson, who just had a phenomenal half, along with pressure. it took its toll on him in that first half.
It did indeed. We've played 3 here from Lancer Stadium, and I believe Rick Stewart has something for us. What you got, Rick?
I'm with Eric Eklund, vice principal here at Cordova High. A little bit less scoring in the third quarter, but let's talk about other things going on on campus. You got a brand new arts building up front. Tell me about that.
We do. We have a new our new performing arts center that opened last year. It's a great place for a lot of community activities, as well as our students to perform and showcase their talents.
Now you're also building a new field house too, right?
Sure. Right over here on this part of the campus. That should be complete this June 2017.
How excited are you for all that building?
For sure. We're really excited here what's going on at Cordova, along with our academics and our IB program that's going on. We're excited about the expansion and modernization of the campus.
Eric, thanks for being with us tonight. Thanks for having us on campus tonight and not getting us in trouble.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Rick. Eric has done a whale of a job in his capacity here and also in assisting our broadcast arrangements for tonight's telecast. So the Lancers backed up into punt formation, 4th and 2, high, medium distance, and it takes a great Lancer bounce, and it's going to be downed at about the Eagle 42.
This is a 43-yard punt and putting Vista on about the 42-yard line, and this series is very important for the Lancers. And I say that because it seems to be their energy level this second half is not what you want. They're having problems with the cramping. And on top of it, now Vista's able to run the football on them and use the clock. Okay? So that combination is hurting them. And then, of course, 7 sacks on Johnson doesn't help.
No, it doesn't, Jim. Well, the fallen Lancer now being helped to his feet and assisted off the field. And we're referring to Ryan McMore, number 44. And an update in the stat department from Gary Martin. Xavier Johnson has been sacked 7 times for minus 49 yards and 13 carries for 61.
Which were primarily in the first half. And like I said, right now with a quarter to go here, well, not quite. The Lancers have got to pick up the pace here because they just, like I said, they look a little tired, a little fatigued. They went real hard. They played a great first half.
Okay, Schaefer and company ready to go. Swing out to the left side, and it's blasted.
That's a great play there by corner 7. Nice job there by Estrada. Very nice coming up from his corner position.
Tudor wondered what fell on him there. Big loss.
Yeah, that's one of the few times they've been thrown for losses on swing passes. And I think if you watch Vista, they're using more clock time. Their clock management's different. They're not in a hurry-up offense. They're no huddling, but they're not in a hurry.
Loss of 7, 2nd and 17. Primary opportunity for Cordova. And they wrap up Norris here after a gain of 3 or 4. Tough nut, tough to drop. But still 3rd and long coming up now. Clock rolling with about 11 minutes to go. They parked the football at the Vista del Lago 38. Third and 14. So we'll see what Schaefer and the Stinger Bees come up with, but he's been going to Pew a lot here in the second half. Under pressure, a great diving try, but incomplete.
Now, there was a lot of hands on both sides there, but I don't think it was a catchable ball. If you show it again, there was a lot of hands on.
They leaked Norris out of the backfield for that long throw. So it's going to bring up a punt. Nice job by the Cordova defense. 3 and out. And here's a 4th and 14 punt. And thus far tonight, the Vista kicking game has been terrific. A bad snap. Let's see if he can get it off. Great job. Great job to avoid major trouble, but it still leaves Cordova in good field position at the Lancer 40.
Well, he got 23 yards on it, but he could have had a 23-yard loss.
Oh, that was just a terrific heads-up play. Well, we see Fidel Romero back into the Cordova lineup. That's good news. He's twice been taken to the sidelines with cramping issues, but he's ready to go again. And it's vital right now for Cordova to put together a successful drive and get back within striking distance. Xavier Johnson fires right over the head of the intended receiver. So Augusta, the intended target, incomplete.
Well, if you notice, in the second quarter, he went upstairs on the fade, deep fade corner, nose upstairs, high, jump ball win by Augusta, and doesn't seem to have gone to that at all. He's getting a lot more heat and less time to throw.
Low snap, he's down to get it. He's got some time. Over the middle, a breakup. Close, tight coverage. So Garcia couldn't hold it.
Well, they went for max protection and only put 2 people in the route so they could protect Johnson. Cade Bader with a nice job, and that's they've reduced the number of receivers on that so they can give him more help and protection, Will, if you notice.
Johnson, the deep throw. Bubbled and grabbed. Wow. A tremendous reception, in Cordova wideouts have done that all night. Augusta again. What were you saying, Coach? I
said they haven't gone to that in a long time just for the half. My goodness, jump ball it and get the ball nose up.
49 yards on the aerial connection. Xavier Johnson to Calvin Augusta. On the run, Johnson to the corner. Touchdown Lancers on a strike to Banks.
There you go. That puts him right back in the ball game.
That didn't take long. It comes at 9:16, early fourth. And it trims the Vista lead now to 44-35. And Cordova will line up for 2. Three wideouts to the near side. Johnson has time, looking, running. Let's see what he can do. Nowhere to go. He's going to try to make something out of this. And still on the run, and finally gets dropped. They stayed with it, and he just ran out of gas. Pursuit by Hunter Corbett. Wild and exciting. So the pass play fails, but Cordova draws close with a 60-yard scoring drive. Okay, the first of 2 replays. The bomb to Augusta. Tight coverage, a bobble and a grab, just tremendous.
And then as you see Banks right there, run a nice route to the corner. Beating number 3, one of the top corners in the area, that time Breeding Hall.
60 yards, 3 plays, 57 seconds. That's what you call getting back in it real quick. It all came after a defensive stop to begin the fourth quarter, forcing the Eagles to punt. So they're down 9 with 9+ to go in the ball game. This has been wild from the very beginning. That was an important touchdown for the Lancers after a third quarter lull.
Yeah, they gave up 12. And like I said, when you think about the 5 or 6 extra points that they got nothing with the kicker, it just really, that's another touchdown.
The Clifford Bright kickoff, taken on the run, and a return back near the 35. Good field position upcoming for the Eagles. So we'll see what Schaefer and the Stinger Bees come up with. As you say, Imperator, they were able to cash in 2 TDs in the third quarter.
Well, and no PATs since the very first TD of the ball game.
So they overload the near side. Norris has the ball working left and has a big hole to run through and has a first down with about a 14-yard run.
I see them using him more. He's having a good night. They do a good job run blocking up front. It's good clock management at this time of the game. It's wearing down that Cordova D.
So it's a first down from the Vista 49. Clock rolling with 8:55, early fourth. Turn and give. As you say, Imperator, work the clock, run the ground game with Norris, hold on to the football.
And Norris doesn't seem to mind. He's been a workhorse tonight.
Gain of 4, Cliff Bright with the stop for the Lancers. Football now at the Lancer 47. Fake the give and get dropped for a sack. Boy, how about that? Fidel Romero shaking off 2 leg injuries to come back in and register that sack on Schaefer.
That's a great play by Romero, and a little help in there from Haney, but a great play by Romero coming back on that.
It's back to the Vista 48, a loss of 5, 3rd and 11. Left side running, big hole and a lot more. First down, Eagles. Well, Norris has been just tremendous.
He's looked like he got, I don't know if he turned an ankle or what on that play, but not too good. He's limping off.
Norris now 23 carries, 170 yards. He's averaging better than 7 a carry. He's having a star of the game type performance. That's stuffed and shoved back. Loss of a couple. It's going to be 2nd and about 13. They give him progress. 2nd and 11. Whistles are going to stop play. Rob Biddle wants to square things. They run left and get contained and shoved out.
Well, they're giving some other people an opportunity to play because there's no sense ruining Norris for the year.
And whistles are going to stop this play. It's a 3rd and 13 from 38. Long count by Schaefer, and there finally is a delay of game recognition.
False start.
False start.
On the offense.
Want to remind you at the conclusion of our game tonight, Rick Stewart will be interviewing our players of the game, and boy, have we had a wide variety to select from. It has not been an easy set of selections, Imperator, but I like our picks.
Well, I do too. We've had certainly, as you mentioned, quite a selection to draw from, where we had some people with outstanding nights.
Boy, we surely did. Deep throw, left sideline, wide open. Touchdown, Eagles. Brendan Hall strikes again, 43 yards.
Brendan Hall, 43-yard. Of course, Schaefer's had quite a night himself.
$50-35 now. This is wild scoring. That TD comes at the 5:44 mark of the 4th. And the Cordova secondary got sucked in on that 3rd and 13. Nobody home.
Oh, they sure did. He flew by the corner, no safety help. Flew by the corner.
To the end zone. A completion and a 2-point conversion. Boy, he whistled that bullet in there between 2 defenders.
Well, he did, and that's the first one. They're I believe 2 for 8 tonight.
Let's take a look here at the final scoring throw, courtesy of Schaefer to Hall.
Schaefer. There's a touchdown pass. It couldn't be more open than that. I don't think he could believe how open he flew by the corner.
We'll be right back for more of Game.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
$65 yards on 6 plays as the Eagles click on a 3rd and 13 for the score. And the kickoff again is buried in the end zone. Touchback, 1st and 10 from the Cordova 20, and that has been a super effective weapon tonight to keep that return prospect out of range for the Speedy Lancers.
That was a backbreaker right there. That was the insurance that kind of, again, never sell the Lancers short, but with 5 minutes, 5:44 on the clock, they'd have to get a couple in a hurry. And let's just see if they go to a 3-man front and drop 8. It appears to me right now to go in the three rush, so Johnson's going to have all day to throw, but
intercepted on the dead run on a beautiful read. Brendan Hall.
Big night for Hall, both ways.
First down for the Eagles following the interception. Boom. Nice job on that play.
I think right now that you're going to see them using the clock. They're not worried about getting another TD. There's a backup running back in the ball game, giving running back Norris a break here.
Turn the corner, go for the flag, dropped at the 5.
But as mentioned earlier, Cordova looks very tired on defense. And it's very noticeable in the second half.
Football at the 5 after a big gain of 15. First and goal at the 5. Vista trying to pour on some more leverage here. They run the football and get nothing.
Well, I'm sure that Coach Strubing would just like to run the clock out quite frankly here. But sometimes you get those reserve backs come in and where they want to score and they want to do something. You know, they're not just on the field for show.
No, they're not going to lay down, and they're not expected to. This is not a case of really trying to pour it on. It's just a case of situations. Nice defense right there on an impressive wrestle down. Gonzalez again with 2 tackles in this series. And going to bring up a 3rd and goal.
Well, I know one thing. I don't think we're going to see a field goal kicker.
Highly unlikely. But I'll tell you, Bader was a tremendous weapon tonight. Those booming kickoffs and that one effective punt.
No returns on the kickoffs.
Running right, a cut, and dropped inside the 5 as a penalty marker flies.
Offensive pass mask.
So the offensive player grabbed a mask. Don't see that very often.
Not very often.
Well, if everybody around the country could enjoy this type of weather for night football, it would be a blessing.
5-yard face mask on the offense.
Hard penalty. They'll replay 3rd down.
Like I said, the Vista staff just wants to keep the clock moving.
Hey, Cowboy!
So it'll be interesting the call here on 3rd and goal from the 15.
Well, I don't know. You know, they might run again. I see a couple limping Lancers in the coverage. I mean, they're looking to try to steal a signal from the sideline. And now Vista is, like I said, no hurry. Milk the clock.
Okay, timeout on the field. And 3:02 left in this one. And we will step back for about 30 seconds or so and come right back to Lancer Stadium here at Cordova High School.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Okay, 3rd and 15 for the Eagles. in the red zone. Little hitch pass to the right side, follows the blocking, and they get back to about the 6-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th and goal. Brendan Hall has had a super duper game on both sides.
Without a question, he does it. Notice they did not pick on his side when they wanted to go deep and to the corner. Okay, they went the other way.
On for an apparent field goal attempt to surprise the Imperator. Cade Bader on for his field goal try from the 13. It's a 23-yarder, and he just is wide right. Oh my goodness, he can't even believe that.
He had enough leg, didn't he, Will?
He had plenty of leg. So Cordova gets the football back here at the 2:07 mark. Opening shop at the Lancer 20.
Well, like I tell you, Johnson's going to need a little rest this weekend. Xavier's had a heck of a game, but he's been hit here in the second half many times.
Yes, he has. Plenty of time. Deep right sideline. Incomplete and out of bounds. Good effort by both players out there. Augusta, the intended receiver.
Nice gesture by the corner and Augusta, showing good sportsmanship on both sides of the ball.
This evening, Vista's Brendan Hall. 3 touchdown receptions and a pass interception, and various and sundry other tackles.
Yeah, he's certainly worthy of recognition.
2nd and 10. The X-Man trying to make something out of nothing here. Spins away from one tackler and cannot elude the other 3. He's dropped inside the 10. They put the football at the 10. Loss of 10. 3rd and 20 upcoming here as the clock rolls with 1.5 minutes left. Well, I'm sure Mike Strubing is pleased with his team's effort on the road. And I would have to say that Darren Nill has got to be very pleased with several aspects of the Lancers' performance this evening. Looking for 20 yards to sustain the drive. Johnson in his own end zone. Throws on the run, a comeback effort, incomplete along the far sideline. Olive with the coverage. Augusta, the intended receiver. Now 4th and 20. And Cordova will punt from their end zone, apparently.
Yeah, we have some, they've played their hearts out, but we have some tired Lancers coming off the field.
They gave it everything, and they suffered a number of injuries and had a key injury before the game even started with J.J. Johnson out. Jason Johnson, an all-leaguer, linebacker and wide receiver. And then the subsequent injuries to McCullough and, their outstanding junior pass rusher, Njoku.
Yeah, and Njoku did come back in the second half.
So Bright's punt fielded by Hall, fair catch.
Yeah, that looks like McCullough there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you're going to see 2 knees I think you'll see Vista take maybe a knee twice here.
The football at the midfield stripe.
They could take a knee twice and be on their way.
I think that's probably what Coach Strubing has in mind at this stage. A 52-35 lead, less than a minute remaining, and this has been a most entertaining football game.
There it is. See how far back he is. Bing, knee.
That's why the Imperator is up here in the press box. Clock rolling, maybe one more of those. A somewhat representative crowd traveling in from Folsom to support the Eagles, and they were treated. And a very, very good crowd here to a rejuvenated Cordova program, and they've had a ball as well. Well, that is the ball game. Final play, and it winds up being a 52-35 victory for Vista del Lago in a wild ball game that I think defined a lot of areas for both of these squads. With the victory, the Vista del Lago Eagles improve now to 2-2, even their record. And the opposite for Darren Nils Cordova Lancers. They slip now to 2-2, 2 consecutive losses in games that, for the most part, in many areas were well played, despite being behind on the scoreboard at the end. We see the good sportsmanship from both squads, greeting each other here in the traditional sense, and this excellent Folsom High School marching band keeping things lively here at Lancer Stadium.
I thought the Cordova band has done a great job. You know, both these ball clubs, I know they got to be satisfied with their offense for the most part. I'm sure that, you know, both of them, as they get ready for league play, know that they have to play better D. And you just don't want to go in any contest and have to outscore everybody. So defense has to come into play here as they get ready for league play.
Yes, it does. And a perfect example of a high-scoring ball club finally maturing into a team with terrific defense is the Folsom Bulldogs. For years, having ultra firepower but giving up a lot of scoring. That's been corrected in the last few years, and certainly that's an example to follow. Well, we're going to come back, and when we do, we'll be joining our Rick Stewart. He'll be speaking with our players of the game and the winning coach when we come back to Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening in Rancho Cordova, where tonight at Lancer Stadium, in a wild scoring duel, the visiting Vista del Lago Eagles from Folsom posted an exciting 52-35 victory over host Cordova in a ball game that had ties and lead changes throughout an electrifying first half, and then things did slow a bit in the third quarter, but Vista, with that potent passing game and some terrific star players, able to put together some insurance touchdowns and coast home to victory. Jim Domino got to tip the cap to the visitors tonight and tip the cap to the hosts as well.
Well, very definitely. Quite frankly, to both of them, and we'll get back to that when we get through with the players of the game.
Well, there they are. Dominic Norris, the bruising fullback, somewhat overshadowed and undercredited, had an amazing game. So did Brendan Hall on both sides of the football for Vista, and the outstanding two-way star and wide receiver Calvin Augusta came up big for the host Lancers. Rick Stewart is standing by with our players of the game. Rick?
Well, we couldn't have made better choices tonight for our players of the game. These guys gave it all out there in the field. First of all, Calvin Augusta played both ways. Tough first half. Light, just the scoreboard lit up in the first half. What was the thing that happened in the second half that kept it from going?
I think our team just came out there with a lot more confidence, and we just came out there and gave it our all, you know.
Okay, what happened in the second half? I mean, it was close early in the second half. You were still in it, and then they kind of walked away a little bit at the end.
It was just the little mistakes we made, like little lineman stuff, defensive line, all that. We made little mistakes, and we got time to correct it.
Okay, you got the rest of the season. You're a junior. You did really, really well tonight. What's going to be the key going forward for you guys to step up?
Just work on the mistakes we made, live and learn from this situation we had.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations on being our player of the game from Cordova High. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Calvin. All right, we're going to turn now to Dominic Norris. Okay, everybody knew about Brent Schaefer, the senior quarterback. Yeah, I've been doing it. Yeah, he's improved and all that kind of good stuff. You were kind of almost under the radar, the rushing attack, and yet you unofficially 23 carries, 170 yards, several touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, I think. What was the difference tonight?
Well, I think the defense sees us on film and just sees our spread attack, so they're not really keying off a run game, and they don't load up the box, and our O-line does their job, and I just do mine, and we just take off from there.
And not that it's an excuse or anything. They had a couple injuries, but at the same time, they had players playing in. It was a light up the scoreboard first half, back and forth. Was there a tiredness factor maybe on their part, you think, in the second half?
I think our fast tempo offense, like coach has been working on that all week, so I think that kind of just tired him up. Just keep going at high tempo on the ball and just like balance attack with the run and pass, and yeah.
Does this mean you guys actually might run the ball more with what you guys showed tonight? I mean, it's obviously going to surprise some people.
Yeah, I hope so. I think we can do it. We're very capable of it. We just wanted to prove our potential as a team tonight because we've had some good opponents like this non-league season. So we're just getting ready for league and show everyone what we're made of.
All right, unofficially 23 carries, 170-some yards, 3 touchdowns. What a night for you.
Thank you. It means a lot.
All right, thanks. Congratulations. Best of luck for the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
All right, now we turn to Brendan Hall. Brendan, you play both ways. Okay, you play defense, you play offense. Are you an offensive player or a defensive player when you think about it inside your heart?
Definitely offensive. I only played offense last year and had to step up this year for defense, but I like playing both ways.
What's the key difference between the two? I mean, obviously you're catching the ball versus knocking it down or stopping the run, but mindset.
Well, it's helpful that I play both ways and know what a receiver has mentality. and it's just, I don't know, it's good to know.
What was open out there tonight? I mean, you guys were hitting some long passes early that got you guys going, but it was back and forth in the first half. What was special for you there?
Well, most routes were open. We design our offense around a zone defense, and our line helped a lot, opened a bunch of holes, and just everything worked.
Now, prior to tonight, it was a passing attack. Everybody thought of Vista as a passing attack. The running attack tonight opened up the passing attack too. How does that really help you when you look at the scheme of things?
Well, it's going to help draw the linebackers inside. It's going to open up a lot of things outside to the receivers, and yeah.
What was more important, the touchdown catches or the interception at the end, just kind of sealing it?
Probably the touchdown catches to secure the lead and just keep us going with the energy.
What do you guys have to do going forward now? Another non-league maybe, or going into league? What do you guys have to really focus on? It's a tough conference.
We have to focus on our defense and securing the tackles because we have another tough game against Placer, against the wing tee, which we have trouble against lately. But if we come out strong and hit hard, we'll be good.
Well, if you can score like this, a lot of people are going to have trouble.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Congratulations on the game, being our player of the game. Best of luck the rest of the season, Brendan.
Thank you.
All right, good job. Good job. All right, guys, we probably couldn't have picked better players to have as our players of the game. Send it back up to you. What a night. I'm glad the scoreboard had enough zeros.
Well, you and me both, Mr. Stewart. What a night indeed. And certainly I would wager that Vista coach Mike Strubing, very proud of his ball players and their performances this evening. It was a wild one tonight and a most entertaining game for this big crowd that turned out, and certainly it was a joy to call this game. And now we have an opportunity to take a look at the final stats in tonight's wild ball game. Okay, rushing yardage. In the end, Dominic Norris took care of the edge with a strong second half after a strong first half. 103 rushing for Cordova. The 7 sacks on Xavier Johnson, instrumental in reducing that total. Passing yards, 338 to 314. Both passers lit it up. Total offense, oh my goodness. That's why you asked if there was any defense going on. 506 to 417. First downs coming out our ears. Penalties again plaguing Cordova. They got whacked with nearly 100 yards in penalty. Just one turnover for each ball club. An interception by Haney was the Cordova turnover. And then there was a pass interception on a 2-point conversion that Schaefer threw. So each player threw a pick. Time of possession dominated, particularly in the second half, by Vista, able to hold onto the football and secure those drives.
Well, the stats tell the story. It's quite different in the second half when Vista outscored them 20-6. And despite missing 5 or 6 PAT 2-pointers, still came by with a 17-point victory. And definitely with a combination of cramping, tiredness, fatigue, as well as some injuries, it took its toll against the Cordova football team in that second half. They looked tired. And Johnson in particular, after running all over the place in the first half and then coming away with 8 sacks in the second half. So it was kind of a two-story, an even ball game at the half, and then Vista surfacing in the second half with some great play on the part of Schaefer, and then Norris took over. Then it was Norris, and controlling the clock in the game and the run game. And that was something that in the first half they didn't have to worry about, Will.
No, they did not, and you're absolutely right about the obvious fatigue factor, and certainly that's something that is going to have to be continued concern for conditioning and stamina. And back to those final stats, from an individual standpoint, for Cordova, 170 yards rushing for Norris, 3 TDs. Schaefer, 25 of 32 passing for 338 and 4 scores. And for Cordova, Johnson rushed for 51 and threw for 314. And total offense, again, was off the charts. So there were individual stars galore, and the team numbers were gaudy. you might
But
say.
I want to bring up a strong point here. If you take those broken play yardage that Johnson ran for big yards off their rush total, they were not hurt by any kind of run game threat Vista had to defend, really, other than trying to keep Johnson in the pocket.
And it should be noted that their defense certainly was geared to stop McCullough, who was averaging 134 yards per game, twice in 3 starts was over 100 yards in a ball game. If you recall, he had a slow first quarter where he didn't get that many touches, and the defense was on him like a rash. And then when he got hurt, that run threat was removed. Even though Raymond Fite is speedy and an up-and-coming ball player, they didn't have that established run threat, and so that put even more pressure on Xavier Johnson.
Without the question. Now they could put the heat, put outside pressure on him, try to keep him in the pocket because he has a great speed, and it took its toll on him because he couldn't really flush and escape that rush like he did in the first half with those terrific runs.
He did, and they were electrifying runs. He got out of so many jams, I can't even count them, and it was very exciting. And this young man has got a terrific future, just a sophomore, and that's a tremendous amount of pressure to put on a young ball player, a sophomore quarterback, to lead the way in so many areas. I mean, just the leadership quality alone is a tremendous burden.
I really like the balance attack, particularly in the second half, showed by Vista. Coach Strubing has been talking about balance attack where people can't, week in, week out, say, hey, if we stop Schaefer and stop that Vista passing game, we win the football game. They've got Norris to contend with, and then you got to give some credit up front to Choi and Johnson and Nawakobi and Anderson and Corley. You got to give some credit to that front people. We've been giving a lot of credit to Norris tonight, but Anderson, Corley, Choi, Johnson, and Nawakobi have done a terrific job blocking for the young man.
Now, those were gaping holes in the middle. That was an area that was definitely exploited, and the trap blocking was terrific. And there were several plays where Norris wasn't even touched, and on one of those touchdown runs, he was untouched. So that interior blocking that you referred to was spectacular tonight.
Very definitely, and I know Coach has been working on that run blocking, and you and I talked about that during the week, pass blocking versus run blocking. And like I say, a lot of linemen like that run blocking because they can get off the football and not just sit on their heels and strike at people and pass block. So that showed that tonight, and as they get ready for league play, I think their opponents, particularly two of the top threats, El Camino and Christian Brothers, have got to be aware of a balanced attack this year coming from Vista.
And that was the key word right there, balance. And we were wondering about that with that exciting pass offense they have with Schaefer leading the way and those 3 or 4 wide receivers that do such a wonderful job. We were questioning whether they would have that balance factor, and Norris certainly proved that out this evening. They now have run-pass balance, and I wouldn't want to play them. If they can get their defense up another notch, they're going to be real tough to beat. And for Cordova, we do have to consider that this is a younger ball club. We have to factor in the injuries to 4 key players. But I really like their resiliency, the fatigue notwithstanding. They've got some terrific individual athletes that are going to continue to blossom, 5 prominent sophomores in the mix. And Coach Darren Nils got a lot to be optimistic about.
Very definitely, and both these clubs are definitely threats in their league, and I'm glad to see they got the series going again, and hopefully it'll keep up because I think this will become a pretty good rivalry for a non-league game.
Oh, unquestionably. Well, our executive statistician has again been doing a whale of a job here, and besides our game stats, he's put together a scoreboard from around the area so we can go down some of the big scores. And in a shocker up in Folsom, the Sackeye Dragons stop Folsom by a final score of 32-27, and that shatters a couple of remarkable winning streaks of 49 games and 52 games. And the second-year coach there for the Dragons has got to be mighty happy.
Well, I'm sure they're celebrating. That Sac staff is celebrating tonight, breaking that Folsom streak. And Sac certainly has shown that it can play with the big boys more than play with the big boys tonight. So That is a factor.
Well, as we continue down the scoreboard, we have to properly attribute the source, the SACB.com, providing the scores, Gary relaying them to us. And in a ball game that probably shouldn't have been scheduled, Del Oro 64-13 over Capital Christian. Elk Grove 56-blank over Alvarez. In a doozy, fourth quarter, 24-21, Clovis West leading Rockland. Third quarter action, Reed of Reno on top of Oak Ridge by 20 at 41-21.
That's surprising.
A final, Lathrop falls to Franklin 38-32. Third quarter score, Vacaville 19-14 over Granite Bay. And in the third quarter, Vanden looking uphill at a 15-0 deficit. Del Campo on top there. And a final, it looks like, third quarter, 42-20, St. Mary's over Casumnas Oaks. Moving on, Christian Brothers blasting McClatchy in the fourth, 53-3. A final, Placer 49-0 in their victory. In a 3-overtime battle of attrition, Napa 35, Nevada Union 34. Second quarter, Franklin beating Florin 14-6. And fourth quarter action, Galt 30-22 over the Valley Vikings. Well, that takes care of the area scoreboard. And including tonight's game, there you see by our graphic, 52-35. The Vista del Lago Eagles outscore the Cordova High Lancers here in Rancho Cordova tonight. Well, Access Sacramento and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew wish to extend their deep appreciation to the Cordova High School administration, particularly Athletic Director Tom Pena and Vice Principal Eric Eklund, for their cooperation and assistance with the broadcast arrangements for this television sports production. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For Jim Domino, Rick Stewart, Game Director Ronicia Harris, and our Executive Statistician Gary Martin, I'm Will James. We thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to the next occasion when we can get together. So long, everyone.
This program from Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.